Hello, YouTube. My name is Matt. This is my YouTube channel, Zephyr's Gambit. Today, I am DM for this lovely group of adventurers in the setting of Eberron. This hangout is recorded not aiming to entertain an audience, but as a record to look back on. Having said that, hopefully any people watching will still get something out of the experience. We are normal adult people. We will make mistakes and and stumble over descriptions and decisions, and we will swear. This campaign story and quests are original content and are set in the Eberron universe. This is not canon, but tries to remain lore-friendly as much as possible. Having said all that, let's get the game started. In less than a minute, would someone like to volunteer to summarize what's happened up to date, and you will gain inspiration.
I will.
Less than a minute, go.
Okay. So we hung out in Charlotte. We gotta go around. Or no. Silas got a note from his mother, and so we're gonna go and see her, help her out. I can't remember the specifics of the note of what she needs help with, but we're gonna go do that. So we decided, since it's gonna be about a month travel, we'd hire on with a caravan. And I cannot remember one of the NPCs' names that we talked with. I believe he was a dwarf, and sounded like he had something kind of shady going on. Brought a cleric over. Dispatch that, but we are going to be going with his group, and there's something else about where he gets 5% of like our profits on adventuring or something. But yeah, that's the caravan we're going to be going with. And then afterwards, Silas like, hey, I'm going to bury the hatchet and let's go hang out with Rin, and I'm going to present him with this wonderful gift, and we'll have this great dinner party. And so we had the fun time. Rin made this beautiful meal. We all decided to see who can out-eat the other. And then the following morning, people had hangovers except for Lana. And there's something else going on. I think Brug didn't stay. No, yeah, I think Brug got like terribly drunk and wandered off. Lana went to go find him, and he was so hungover he thought he didn't recognize her. And then we all kind of regrouped and are getting ready to head on our way.
Good. Inspiration. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, so the people that we've already met as part of the caravan, we've met Demaya Wolfshadow. She is a tailor and a half gnoll. We've met, or re-met, Flint, who is a dwarf, who is a contact that we've sort of gotten to know previously through chance, and who is sort of hit on hard times, and is transporting some religious relics. And Ivalius Liadon, who, when we met him this time, was thoroughly drunk. He is a half-elf bard who has been performing around Sharn and is now on his way on the caravan. So let me just read this chat here that's going on. Because someone's asking me questions.
I think it's just silliness, really.
Silliness. Okay. Very good. So we're heading off on the caravan. Anyone have any last things that they would like to do before leaving on the caravan? Make it very quick if you do. And
we had time for a baby shower yet?
Let's get back to Sharn first, okay? Baby ain't coming that fast, Sharn.
Okay.
So, actually, Kerrywood, being as intuitive as she is, what information can she dig up about the lore of the trail that they're headed on? Like, is there a history of like certain monsters or kind of bandits that sort of frequent this pathway? Is there any sort of, basically what she's looking for, is there any dangers that have happened recently?
Okay, it's a well-traveled trade route. So records would show that there have been bandits along there, but whenever that's happened, they've been like, you know, sort of rogue bands because this is like one of the major trade routes. And so like to set up there is basically inviting your thief group to be decimated by the guards that are probably accompanying the caravans. So it's relatively safe on the road, that is. As soon as you go off-road, either into the King's Forest or south down the coast, that can get very dangerous indeed. People don't go off-road unless they're looking for trouble. There are probably stories about people going missing, there's not really any stories of survival from people that have gone off-road. People have just disappeared, and I guess the idea is stay on the road. There is a keep that's south that is there, and that's possible to get to, but generally you're going with, a battalion of armed guards to get there.
Are there regular patrols that frequent through outside of outside of the caravans, or is it just the guards that are going?
Not patrols, no. No, it's not patrolled, but you are basically, like I said, the caravan guards and caravans frequent this. Like there's caravans leaving every day, basically, and probably more than one every day towards Zilspar. And then the road from Zilspar to Xanthus, there is a more dangerous forest that sort of, and the coastal travel. So occasionally on that leg of the journey, there'll be records of flying coastal dwelling monsters that have made for a nuisance and things, and the forest also. So there'll be like forest dwelling things that have made life a hassle, especially though that particular forest from Zilspar towards Xanthus, there's a lot of like fae that live in there. And so people tend to avoid it because they're tricksters and they tend to like play beautiful music, and people go looking and then they, again, just disappear without a trace or come out mad or whatever. So best to stay on the road, basically. Yes, that could mean that there are bandits, but more likely you're going to be safe on the roads than heading off roads. There are off trails and things like that. There's not really many stories about them per se. It's more just, I don't know, coastal and forest stuff that's there. Fair enough.
She will regale the party with this information and make major points of explicitly saying that bandits may happen, but it's nothing we can't take care of. But the biggest thing is, if you feel suddenly enlightened to do something that you normally wouldn't, think twice about doing it, because especially along the coastline, like you had said. So
so the first leg of the journey is much safer, like from Shan to Zilspar. From Zilspar to Trolanport or towards Xanthus, it's a bit more dangerous. Not that much, but a little bit. And it is.
Also heard rumor of a crazed pregnant woman will be on the trail soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shard.
Carrie will actually send word ahead, warning people to just hurry up.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we set off. Unless there's anything else.
Nope.
Cool. Very good. The map that's there, you should be able to see the little path that's there. It's about 284 miles from Shan to Zilspar. So yeah, we set off, and the first week, everything is just fine. Or it's more like 5 days. Everything is just fine. On the 5th day, you notice that there is a trail off to the right. It's not marked on your map, and you can see some canvas that's just like been ripped off something and is just like float, like it's being tangled up in the brush, and what it looks like is the canvas that would cover a caravan, just like the ones that you're accompanying. The canvas has been ripped off and it's been shredded, and it's all like tangled up in some brambles and stuff. And this seems a bit off-putting. So what would you guys like to do, having come upon this?
Well,
And
first
approximately how far is it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, approximately how far down the road are we at this point?
I think this is day
You're
5.
5 days in.
Lana would probably be like, I need to go pee again, guys.
So it takes about 2 weeks to get to Zilspar. So you're
Okay.
just under halfway. And it's about another 2 weeks. It's just over 2 weeks to get from Zilspar to Trolanport.
So we are here, right about here-ish.
Yeah, about where the dip is there.
Was there anything else you wanted to add, Silas?
Nope. It's certainly very interesting. Go ahead.
Carrie would, I want to interject, during these 5 days, Carrie would have at this point, during campfires, during times of walking next to people, she would have been talking. Nothing super serious like, where are you from? What's your DNA? What's your license plate number? Like, she's not asking any of that serious stuff. But she is trying to get to know them because she's the newest party member. So she's making lighthearted conversation, joking where she can, trying to relate to them best as they can. Brug is probably, I would guess, one of the harder people, one of the harder fellows to get along with. But she definitely has a very big interest in Lana because she's pregnant and she's an adventurer who refuses to stop being an adventurer. And also Shard, because who doesn't like to talk to a free-thinking Iron Man? Like most of these creatures that she has understood, at least I'm assuming what she would know from legend is most of these constructs are created for a very specific, narrow purpose, and Shard seems pretty free of that. So she would definitely be very interested in talking with those. I mean, she's talking to everybody in depth as much as possible and as much as gleaning as much as she can from them. But Shard and Lana are the two people that she's psychologically really trying to get to know, just because why does a pregnant woman refuse to stop adventuring? And why does an Iron Man who's supposed to have a specific purpose lack that? So,
Cool.
but to the canvas, however, she would take it upon herself to help the king and clean up the debris if passing by doesn't consume too much time, where she would like lose sight of the caravan by taking down the canvas.
How far off the road is this canvas?
Is the what, sorry?
How far off the road is the canvas?
So about 30 feet.
Oh, okay.
Let's go follow that side path. Maybe we'll find the rest of the caravan that it belongs to.
But Lana was just like, but we're not going that way.
Well,
Okay, and also, didn't we get explicit instructions not to deviate from the path?
well, it's not like Trolanport's going anywhere in the meantime.
How about
Clearly not.
we send,
but
how about we send one person to investigate and we tie a rope around them, and the other end of the rope can be tied around me.
Now, how about you're the person to go, and we'll tie it up to the wagon?
Well, we could do that, but I'm probably the heaviest, so you'd have the hardest time pulling me back.
Let's
Yeah, well, all of us will
compromise
tell you.
and send Shard and tie the rope to Shard.
Okay,
Carrie could,
are we guys getting hung up over a canvas?
Yeah, I'm really
It's
not interested.
Like, we've gone out that way, but who like does it? And Mana's like kind of tripping over it. We're just like, I don't think we need to really worry about it because that's not our problem. We are going this way with the caravan, and I kind of don't want to get left behind. Just saying.
It may not
Lana,
be your problem, dear Lana, but it is a citizen of the king's problem to make sure that his fine roads are clean of this unsightly trash, in which I humbly will provide the duty to proudly remove it from the sides of the road.
While we're talking, Shard has taken out a rope, tied one end to a wagon, the other end to himself, and he's walking out to the canvas.
all right.
Carrie takes her wings and gives a overview flight just to make sure like nothing's like, oh, he's coming, get him.
All right. Well, I'll get Carrie then to make a quick perception check for me, and Shard will start on his way. And let me just flip over to the map here.
There it is. I don't know what I rolled quite yet.
16.
Heck yes, America.
America. So you're flying up above where Shard is and maybe scouting ahead of him a little bit. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, just she's like, she would fly up a little bit, drop down, fly. I mean, she's not honestly really looking, but she is trying to make sure that like there isn't like a banditry trickery going on around here.
You don't see any sign of bandits. You think that whatever wind took a hold of this canvas, it was fairly strong. And so if there is a caravan, it's probably at least 100 feet away.
She will shout down to the... Would she know that the druid is a druid, or that he knows of nature-y things? Like, has Don made that obvious?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
very, very shamanistic.
She would yell down to him, has there been any storms through here recently to make this happen? She would kind of disgustedly point down to the canvas that's kind of graffitied the forest.
Donald consult the elements. He's going to use the Druidcraft to check the weather.
Yeah. So you would be able to tell that in the time that you've been traveling, in the last 5 days, there has been 2 times, 2 nights, where the wind was particularly strong. You guys have been relatively safe traveling with the caravan, but if a sheet of canvas had been like not secured properly or something, and these people are particularly diligent in this caravan, and you guys have been fairly diligent, then it would have easily been able to be blown off in those 2 circumstances during those 5 days.
Okay. Donald motion Kari down and walk over to her. And he's not going to yell out this to her.
Yeah, she'll fly down. She'll land next to him with a heavy thud.
Oh yes, there's been a few days recently that's had strong winds. Perhaps if it was not secured, then one of those times it could have been blown off of its the wagon that it belonged to.
She would nod at that and look over to Shard and nod and yell out to Shard, make sure not to scratch yourself on the briars. It would be unsightly to see your armor look as the forest does with that.
Yeah, and as you guys are talking, Shard will get to the canvas. You'll be able to see that indeed it does have an inner lining, which accompanies pretty much all caravans that leave Shan and travel towards Shan. The inner lining is of a like a more of a linen than a canvas. It's designed to like ward against the weather on the inside, so that anyone that's sleeping on the inside is a little bit more comfortable. And it has like a layer between of like more weather resistant material than even canvas. There's like a sheet of that in there in the middle. Those have been sort of ripped through so that you can see them, and so that you can clearly see that this is obviously a caravan from Shan or to Shan that travels here regularly.
When you say ripped through, does it look like an accidental thing, or like somebody's plunged a blade through it?
It certainly does not look accidental. It's like being shredded in several places. You're not sure whether it's some with a weapon or like sharp claws or anything like that, but it certainly does not look accidental. And then it's been battered and blown into the brambles as well, in addition.
I will pick it up and fold it up.
Okay.
And then if something happens, I will carry it back to my party members.
No, nothing happens.
I will...
So we can be leaving, right?
I'll hand it off to Silas and say, and I'll point out the tears, the rips that are in the canvas, and I'll be like, do we care?
I don't give a shit.
I can make this.
And I look over to Lana and go, yeah, it might be a pretty dress for you, but it looks like a rag. So,
I've made worse.
are we on our way? Totally not interested in the canvas that was on the ground. It could have stayed there for all I care.
Now, when Shard shows the group the canvas and that, if Carrie is there when he shows them, she will notice that there's a different color of fabric on the inside lining of the canvas itself at one particular point. You'll just see this like a flash of different color, and that will catch your eye.
Carrie will walk over quickly and just kind of like look over to Silas and just kind of rip it from his hand and look at it, and she'll like flip it over where she saw the color.
Yeah, you'll have to like actually rip open like where the canvas sort of meets the linen so that you can see what's inside.
Yeah,
because there's something definitely
yeah, she'll do
inside.
that. Yeah, she just rip it from, look at it, and she's like, "What the?"
Lana's like, Kari, I was gonna make a dress with that. Or something.
She just kind of looks at her, just like she just kind of like curses at her in abyssal, like, "Shut up." It just goes back.
All right. So your house's symbol is embroidered in a square of silk that has been secreted inside this little pouch of this fabric. So the symbol of the creators of the fashion that you know so well is embroidered on this square of fabric that's been secreted inside.
She'll look over and take a very commercial voice. If it's not fair, it's not fair. That's not what she does. But she'll she'll look over and she'll look at the threading and she'll kind of tear it out from the thing and kind of roughly hand it back to Silas and look at it. This is my family's design. They designed this, and I know them more than probably anybody, that they've designed these to be better than being something that could be tattered in the wind. And she'd look over to Shard curiously, because I'm assuming she didn't glean the same kind of, this is an unnatural ripping. And she'll just kind of look at him curiously.
It looks to me like it's been torn by somebody. Either a weapon or maybe a claw or a beak or something, or fangs or something maybe.
She curses in abyssal again and just kind of shakes her head and kind of pockets the crest or the signature.
Just because it is a piece of canvas here does not mean that the danger has been passed. It would be wise of us to learn of what befell the wagon that this came from, so that we might be better able to avoid such a fate of our own.
She would.
Absolutely.
Carrie would
Yes,
also
Harry.
nod at this, and or we can continue moving and be sure that we are on the lookout for anything that might attack us. Our
Very
goal isn't
wise, my
to,
friend.
our goal isn't to protect the King's Road; it's to simply travel through it.
But do you have any idea of any of your house or family traveling in this direction? Some of that direction, you
She laughs like wildly. Of course, my dear. Every royal in all of lands, anywhere you're from, is threatened by each other. Civil war may not be waged upon battlefields, but it is certainly waged within politics.
Also, your family symbol does accompany trade caravans that their goods are within, and so wherever, you know, when your new clothes, new fashion goes from city to city, obviously your family symbol it accompanies those goods. So it's not
So-
only with the people themselves, it's with the traders
She would
that
share
they
that
use.
her family brandishes. She would admit that her family may brandish that their name a little too flauntingly, and competitors that may be jealous of their profits may find it upon themselves to be burdened by ridding us of some of our wares from time to time.
But the
So,
question is, do we have to burden ourselves with this business here, or can we continue down the road?
She holds her hands out. The fair name is not printed anywhere within this. I'm assuming it's not printed anywhere in the caravan.
It's just a symbol.
Onward!
Yeah. So she's like, we're not. The fair name is not touching this caravan, so we should be fine unless we openly announce every 10 feet that we are of the fair.
after hearing Carrie and Silas talk, Shard will look, point at Carrie, and say, "Who is she?"
She would laugh. Who am I?
That's a good question. She seems to have been sent by the fair she keeps talking about, and she's loud
fair?
and boisterous, and she's her name is Carrie. She doesn't like to wear clothing apparently most of the time, and it's I don't know. Maybe you should ask her. But we can continue to ride, right? This is Carrie. Carrie Shard. Shard Carrie. Come on. Let's keep moving.
Okay, we're moving. We can talk while we move. She said something about a family. So who is your family?
My family, and she announces proudly as she begins walking, and openly, she's very flamboyant with all of her emotions as she's talking about her family with seeming genuine pride. She's carrying herself with this sort of buoyancy that a lot of nobles seem to have, but it's a little bit different. Anyways, and she's walking and she's kind of flamboyant and moving with her emotions. The Fair family is one of the, if not the, leading family who designs fashions for the king and all of those of respectable nature to follow suit.
Shard has heard it. Shard has heard enough and just turns and walks away while she's in that sentence.
She looks at him with this sort of flat like, and of course, the man of creation to be interested in the affairs of mortal.
All right, so
and I walk with Brug. At least he's quiet.
yeah, Brug is currently riding a direwolf, and the direwolf starts like sniffing around, and she seems to be like fixated on a scent that no one else can smell, and she seems to be like sticking her nose into like all of these bushes nearby where the canvas was. She keeps on getting closer to where the canvas was and sort of sticking her nose in, trying to find the source of this scent. And she seems rather urgent about it, Brug.
But you smell Heyu.
You smell blood. So I don't know how you're going to communicate that to Brug, but
You could bite him and then show him the blood.
Or just point to it, because that stuff dries and sticks to everything.
She would see it. Very.
If the scent of blood's still there, then blood is still actually there. It's just dried up and stuff.
Yeah, she'd point it out with her nose, just kind of paw it, nose it, if it's something that's visible.
You can't see it at the moment. You can only smell it.
No, Brug has no reason to distrust her senses, so Brug will follow her lead.
All right, it's only another sort of 10 feet away when the part of the brush sort of gives way to your nose, and you immediately find the source of the blood, and it's well hidden in the brush. But your nose comes into contact with an object that smells like blood. What do you do?
Nose it, pick it up with her mouth. Like, she'd nose it first, just kind of like to move, see if it moves or whatnot. To kind of, Paul would reach out. Then she would attempt to pick it up with her mouth to kind of pull it into view.
All right, you pull a disembodied arm out of the brush and onto the ground out in front of everyone. It's been severed and cut off, and it's a human arm, as far as you can tell.
Swords are out.
Yeah, Lana's also kind of like in the. Oh,
Brug will
Wait,
side
do
people.
we know that this even happened? I mean, not for nothing.
that's
Like,
out into view of everyone. That's what I heard.
It's out in view of everybody.
Yeah. So it was hidden, but she's like, she explained that she gripped it and pulled it out, and when she pulled it out, she realized, and everyone else would see, that it's an arm. It hasn't been cleanly severed. That's clear. It's been like maybe gnawed off. It's not like being
It's not a clean cut.
struck by a sword or an axe, for example.
It appears that this caravan was in need of a hand after all.
Absolutely.
Brug just looks at you blankly and just returns to the side of the road again with a
Yeah.
Oh, if Mona hears
Not
that, you like
interested.
start cracking up about 5 seconds later, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious!" And just like kind of clap her hand over her mouth and like, maybe not in this situation.
What did I say something?
You said, yeah, you said something.
Are there any rings on the
Yeah,
fingers
and there's a
of
hand.
this
Yeah.
arm?
Mona's gonna go over and examine this hand. Just like, oh look, it's disembodied, and she's kind of in her itch phase of, I want to kill something.
How late in the day is it?
I imagine it's still morning.
Any like
No rings, and there's no ring mark either.
Is it a bare arm? Like, is there any does it have like a sleeve or a glove or a gauntlet on it, or is it just like an arm?
I believe it's a human arm.
If you sort of examine it, there is like a piece of fabric that's been like plastered to the skin from the blood that you can see did have a color that's been covered with blood. You think it's probably a blue, but it's like badly like mottled and stained now.
Can I make a Constitution save not to lose my cookies?
You may, yeah.
All right, thoroughly unimpressed and rather annoyed by all of this. So let's go. Let me just, Shard, come with me. Let me just take a look around. I'd like to roll investigation of the area to see what I find, if there's anything else hidden.
Sure.
Can't you just
Is that
can't you
okay?
just-
Mona's coming too. Well, it's like I want to find where the rest of the body is.
All right, come on,
Rogue
lady.
should
Let's
just
go.
stay with the caravan because that's his job.
Yes,
Huh?
as
So I was-
as I agree. Yes. Yes,
Bird.
sir. What about the bird?
To look around.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm actually
With
rather
you.
good at this. I'm actually rather good at this looking around thing. She's good. She's actually
Okay.
quite as good as I.
You look around. I got.
Please have her nip his ear really hard.
All right, so I'm going to flip you over to the map so that you can see. I've just put you all up to the north just for convenience. Obviously, only the people that go will be the ones that see the scene, and the others will be another like 50 feet up to the north, unless you actually describe where you're going. So let's take you over here, and I will put up there. Hopefully that will take us to where we need to be. If you, let's see what Americans say. Yeah, you'll need to like zoom in and be up to the north where everyone is, just so that we can, yeah. All right. Maybe not that much, but yeah. So the people that go, which is like Shard, Silas, you will break the cover of the trees, and down to the south, you will see what you can see there.
Okay, so I think that Silas would kind of move. Oops, let me move. And we'll call oops, let's put them over there so I can move both of them. All right, so we'd kind of get into this region, and we'd be able to see, or maybe even probably past this down into this area,
Yeah.
and we'd be able to see what's happened here. And at that point, I'm going to take Shard's advice and send Calva away, to kind of look. Let me see
Yeah.
how far she can go.
I can't click.
At this point, it is definitely.
I can't click.
And
on
we've
Shard,
got
by the-
this problem again. Is that I hate
So
it.
weird. Yeah, it's so strange. Because I can click on everything.
What am I going to do?
And she would be
about
able
this?
to,
He forgets how to use his limbs.
yeah, she would be able to clearly be able to see this entire scene. So I would, go blind and deaf. Even Lana may be talking to me. She's not paying attention to her at all because I can't hear her or even see her. And she would see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dead bodies and 1, 2, 3, half a dozen dead horses. And do all of the canvases look similar to the one that we saw that was torn?
Yeah. So one of the canvases, the one that's closest to you, is missing.
Okay.
So that's obvious that the one that you saw was from this one. The others do look pretty much identical to that one. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that's all.
Okay. Yeah, and
If
she
only I
can
was
get
better
through. Yeah, she can get throughout this whole area. I can go as far as. Let me go. I can go as. Oops, come back here. I can go as far as here squared, if you want to think that. I think that's 100 feet around. From where she is, so that would put her also down to almost off the map, and then down in this region as well. So she, I have her do a whole list around now. Is there anything else that she sees besides the carnage? Does it look
I'll
like
need
there's?
I'll need you to
Yeah, give
make me a check,
Yeah.
perception
me
check.
15 seconds.
Um,
And you didn't see this from the air earlier, Kari?
Sorry, I didn't have my master manual left in the other room, so I had to go around and grab that so I can get the owl stuff. All right. So she gets advantage on wisdom perception checks versus relying on seeing and hearing. Perception is a 3. Alright, so let's see if I can get her sheet to work, because it's worked some weeks and it hasn't worked others. So
Sunshine.
did that work? Yeah, see, it doesn't work. Sorry, buddy. And she gets advantage, so 17 and 18.
All right. She can see that hidden amongst the bushes and crags around the out cliff here, that there is some movement coming from up above that. So that sort of cliff looks down upon the scene.
And where was that? I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I'm sorry, buddy.
Up here.
Okay, so over there. Okay, so not too far from us, a good maybe 30, 40 feet away from where we're standing.
And it is higher than it looks.
Okay.
So it's like 30 feet up. I know I can't like represent that third dimension, unfortunately, but that cliff is 30 feet. She basically can see movement up there.
Okay.
She can't see what's making the movement.
Wonderful.
And it's kind of like a shuffling kind of thing, like something's lying in wait.
I would like for her to land in this region where she'd be able to see a few of the horses, even this woman here. Does it look like claw marks and so on and so forth all over them, or is it? And then he'd shout out, "Where are you going?"
So looks like.
Oh no, I don't know that.
Claw marks.
Okay, sorry. I'd stop the link between her and I and realize that Shard and Lana are where they are, so close to that caravan, and go, there is definitely something in the top of the ridge over in this region. You know what I mean? And point up into that area.
I would just kind of look up
and everything's clawed and bitten. This is not our quarrel. Let's get the hell out of here. Kari wasn't interested.
Oh,
Kari wasn't interested. Let's go.
It's and like Lana, she just kind of has this like fixated almost look where she's just like, I just want to go.
You didn't give a shit 5 minutes ago.
It was just a stupid canvas 5 minutes ago. There are bodies here.
Fine.
I'm just sorry.
By this point, Calva's landed back over to where Silas is, and we'll move up over on this side of it, while very much keeping an eye in this direction to see what I see. And I'd very much explain to Shard and Laname that there is something up there. I couldn't see exactly what it was, but it's definitely creating movement. I couldn't make it out, or she couldn't make it out, so I couldn't see it. It's not. Again, this is not our quarrel. Yes, I know it's very interesting, and we love death. There's no problem with that. But and he kind of snickers when he says that. And
Lana's not really listening much at the moment. Like starting to crouch down, and she's going to like kind of touch the body, try and move the clothes and whatnot, like try to get a better look at the wounds and such. And like as she's just kind of looking at them, she'll like even like depending on like how deep the wounds look and such, like she'll try and put like her hand inside just to be like, what caused this? Just but at the same time also just very mesmerized by that it's a body, it's dead. And I guess maybe even try to determine like what she would assume would be like how long they've been dead. Like is the blood warm?
Make a medicine check.
Or is it cold?
Silas
That's
is,
intelligence or black wisdom. Right?
1 second.
Silas is in a pop mage armor.
I'll just make sure.
Skills, medicine, wisdom. Yeah.
Get bad. He's so clueless.
Right. Some wild animal, some description. You think, but those that might have, seen a little bit more than you perhaps might be able to determine some more. By the way, these bodies are not all in one piece. I couldn't separate their limbs and stuff, but yeah, they're scattered. They've been brutalized.
Is blood cold?
Sorry. What was Shard doing?
Rug is enjoying the silence of the caravan.
Yeah.
Peaceful chill.
Shard's going to use a sword to knock aside a flap on the back of the wagon he's nearest, just to look inside, see what he finds.
There is no flap in that one. That's the one that's missing the canvas.
Well, yeah. You were able to see inside from where you are. There are a bunch of opened crates that have been gone through, and you can sort of smell meat that might have been a part of this. There's so someone's taken provisions and stuff from these crates and some other things. You do notice that there is a crate that's up towards the front of this particular wagon that has just been knocked over, and it does seem from an initial just gaze over there that there is some stuff still in it. Pretty much all of the rest of the crates have been opened and the stuff has been removed from them, but that one crate seems or looks like it does still have something in it. I'm not sure why I don't have Brug here. I know he's still up with the caravan, but I don't.
Rug is enjoying a peaceful afternoon, eating a kebab. No more people yelling. No more people getting confused over a random piece of fabric. Brug only was half listening to the conversation of.
Hey, you would nuzzle or kind of whine I want a kebab.
Brug would share kebabs, although they are spicy.
What?
All right. So what do you want to do then? Did you want to look at that? So with the 9, that's pretty much all you can determine. It looks to you like some sort of wild animal.
Wild animal that's been dead for a couple hours a day.
Couple of days probably. The blood is dry. The clothes that are still there are caked to the skin by the blood.
They've been dead for days, Lana.
She looks a little disappointed, but she's I know, but
like I said, there's certainly something watching us up there on the ridge, and I don't want to find out what it is. So let's make haste. There's no reason to be here.
Something watching us. Perhaps it's a survivor.
It could be done. I don't know.
Insert trigger word for anyone who's of good alignment.
Yeah, all right. Well, and he's not. So he's I'm very much not interested.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Who's still up with the caravan that we're accompanying? So who's not in the same?
Yeah, he'd start walking back towards. Yeah, he'd start walking back towards the caravan. Silas is not interested.
So Silas coming back to the caravan. Brug's at the caravan. Is everyone else down here in this scene?
Carrie's actually in the
we're
caravan
slowly
too.
losing interest.
Carrie's at the caravan as well.
Shard's going to be wherever Lana is.
Yeah, no, Lana would have, after examining the body, it's kind of dry, caked on blood, and just she'd feel a little disappointed, but just kind of, well, hey.
Don walked in
They're
just
leaving
recently.
us.
They were taking a while with their investigating, so he assumed they found something or something found them, so he came to check up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
can
I
basically
just would
see the
pass him in the way and go.
scene. Like I said, you can all pretty much see that there is one crate in the nearest wagon that seems to have something still in it. Otherwise, everyone is dead. They've been dead for a while. They've obviously been ripped apart by something nasty, or many things that are nasty. You don't think so many people would have fallen to a single creature. And it certainly looks like all of these crates and stuff have been ransacked. But
Somebody already got to this, guys. Let's go. We have many miles of road ahead of us.
Wait up! Brad, can I ride the wolf too?
No.
all right, so we're just leaving.
Don's intent on seeing if there is a survivor. Now that Silas has mentioned that he did see someone or something moving around.
And he would tell you it was in this area over here. But again, he is walking back towards the.
So you can make your way up the up that incline, up the top of the map if you wish, or there's a way down the bottom. The way at the top is a little bit more difficult than the way at the bottom, but the way at the bottom is obviously a lot further away.
I think Don will actually use spider climb and
Okay.
go straight there.
Show off.
Yeah, on himself, spider climb, and say, "I'll be just a moment, Shard."
All right. So which section? Are you just climbing straight up there?
Straight up.
All right. So you'll get to the top. All right. And when you get to the top, you will hear some confused sounds coming from the bushes around you, and then this.
Shenzi! And Eddie!
Ed.
Mufasa!
So a bunch of gnolls just like crawl out of like these little holes that they've been hiding in with like bushes that have been covering them, trying to stay hidden. And now that you're up here, just like jump out, and they sound confused. But being that you like have like emerged right at their hiding spot, have jumped out and look quite aggressive. So I guess let's see where our initiative is at and make sure that it's clear. Yes, it is. So I'll get us to roll for initiative.
Look,
Yes,
everyone.
but now all of us are just Don. Because
Well, Don can
away from
see
that.
it. Shard can see it because I think he
Yeah, he moved around.
moving around. So Shard can.
Look, everyone. I found the survivors to the Null caravan.
Yeah. You remember that?
Nope.
Nope.
Are you talking about the Maya?
There was a quest in the guild in chapter 1 for
Oh,
this.
I wasn't there for that.
That's funny.
Basically, because no one took the quest out of group 1 or group 2, this is what's happened.
Brug was too busy beating up ghosts.
Yeah, we were doing our
Not
thing at
Brug's
that point.
Brug's still too busy beating up ghosts. He's back at the caravan.
Is why Brug Lord of Ghosts.
So by the way, I will just remind you just the once, excuse me, that when you do have an encounter, you can solve it in multiple ways. So if you don't always have to fight necessarily, sometimes things can be reasoned with, sometimes you can run away, sometimes you can, I don't know, solve things a different way. So I don't just run encounters that are just one way to solve it. So just so that you guys are aware that there are multiple ways of solving things generally. So however you want to go about this is up to you guys. I will roll for these nulls now. So what do we got? We've got one that is at +1. It's just the normal nulls. We've got the next one up, which is at +2. And we've got the next one up, which is also at +2. So 14, 11, and 18. So I'll seed those in. So add turn, add turn, add turn, and then we go back to this. Come on. Why is that not doing anything? Yes. Okay, so we've got a 14. 14. $11 and $18. It's hot. Sending. Lana, I will delay your turn since, like, were you just moving up towards the north, or had you like
try to catch up with Silas? Just kind of like, okay, hey, we're coming. Just
yeah. So until someone calls out, I'm gonna say that you can't.
that's perfectly fine.
All right. So the this one over here is the first one to act. He will jump out, and you can see that he is incredibly well outfitted. He's got what looks to be this like hide kind of outfit. It's maybe made out of like dried bear or skin or something like that. He's got a big probably a fox head skull over his right shoulder, and you can see that his claws are really just war-torn by the looks, but just really sharp and ferocious. His hands are like bigger than Shard's hands easily, and he will jump out and he will rush in, and you can hear him barking like orders. You don't understand them unless you speak Null, and he'll rush in and he's going to make 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks at Dawn. So the 1 bite attack is a 19 to hit, and the 2 claw attacks are 20 and 11.
The 11 misses. Well, hits armor.
Yeah.
No, 11 would be a miss. Dodged it.
Yeah, he dodged that one. The other 2 will land, and so when he bites you, his teeth come down kind of like lockjawed almost, and it's only for a second. So you take You take 9 points of damage from the bite, and you need a Constitution saving throw, please. And with his one claw attack, that does hit you as well. That does another 10 slashing damage. You succeed on your Constitution saving throw. You can feel like this wetness that's not just saliva. It's like oozing into where the bite mark is, and you have a sense that you think that his teeth, his bite is poisonous. But because you succeeded on your Constitution saving throw, it hasn't taken effect on you. You just get that sense, like a stinging, that's not really doing anything else at this stage on you. Shard, you can definitely see what's going on. What would you like to do?
I'll make a concentration save for my spider climb here in just a second, but you can go ahead.
Okay.
Shard will run forward, and I'm guessing this is a tree or a bush.
Yeah.
And he will either run through it or underneath it.
Yeah.
And do the same over here and try to get right here.
Yep, you can do so easily.
And then he's going to, come on, swing twice at the.
All right, this gnoll that you're attacking is looking like a bit of a runt, and all the ones of the same token there look, quite weak, runty, not very, not very impressive compared to the impressive one over here. But yeah, you can attack him. So roll some attacks.
Advantage, do I get him from behind?
Yes, he is totally focused on Don. He doesn't know that you're coming. He's been surprised by Don coming up right beside his hiding spot. So
okay,
yes.
My attacks. Well, there's the first one.
Yeah, he takes 7 from that.
Come on, there's the second one.
He, after the first blow, he you see his head sort of turn, and then you go to swing a second time, and he sort of ducks, and and that one won't hit.
And then bonus action, I'll use my offhand attack to hit him again, or try to.
Yeah. I'm still going to consider that advantage just for the sake of your round. So yes, you will hit him on that one. You notice that he does bring a shield up when he does duck, sort of almost parrying your blow, and you spot where his arm is underneath the shield and sort of slash him right along the arm, and yeah, do another 7 points of damage. He is looking bloodied already from these attacks.
Okay, then that's my actions.
All right, so he will turn around now and attack you back, and so he will bite. Yeah, he'll bite. So let's see how he goes here. +4. Oh, okay. Can you be crit at the moment, or did you have that armor?
I have the armor on.
Well, it still hits, and it'll do 4 points of damage. This one's bite isn't poisoned or anything. Yeah, so he just clamps his teeth down, and you're just like, meh, doesn't seem so bad.
Okay.
The other one on Don's other side here will attempt to bite him. 12, I don't think hits Don.
12 does not.
And you hear the what you would assume to be like the boss one that attacked you the first time continues to like make some commanding sort of sounds. Another gnoll appears down here, but he's basically done his action by crawling out. You can see that he can't join the fray right at the moment. Silas, you were moving up to the north. How quickly do you think you were moving up? Like, do you think you needed someone to call out? I'm imagining Shard called out during his round there.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's certainly something that he would have heard. He would have gotten, you know, he was making haste. He, like I said, he wasn't interested at all. So, you know, he walked with purpose back towards the there. I'm assuming we got here to about the edge of the map or whatever. I'm going to have Calva come over here and land on the ridge here. Okay. I just wanted to see how far away it was to here. Okay. Oh wait, well that won't be Till's turn, so that won't matter. I so not interested in this. Let's see here. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, look, here's something.
Well, if you heard the call, like there's
Yeah.
other options. Like you could like call out to your party and say just get out of there.
Yeah, and that's
you know,
what I mean. Yeah, that's certainly something that I would go. You know, he would certainly scream out, "This is not our fight! What are you guys doing?" You know, just shout it loudly. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, it's be annoyed. He's how far away is this? Because he doesn't really want to engage them because there's just no point to this. Because it just looks like a lot of death to him. So, I have a new spell that I can do that's fairly has a good amount of distance, and I just want to make sure I do it correctly. Get you to 5 feet.
it looks like everything's in 90 and most things are within 60-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing. Man, this would be a great time to have like thaumaturgy or something like that, but I don't have it. Yeah, I mean he's gonna shout out and you know to call for them to retreat.
All right, cool.
And you know, again when it is Kala's turn, you know he will, you know, she'll be here.
All right, just move her. That's fine.
Yeah, she'll be here. So and then I do take the what you call it, the link to her. So I'm now blind and deaf and seeing what's up there.
Done. Kelva's not quite up there yet, but you can see that she's on her way. And you heard Silas just call out to flee. So what would you like to do? Thunderwave.
Yeah.
Is that a save? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is a save. It didn't include that info in it, did it?
No, you might just need to tick the boxes. I'm happy for you to tick the boxes and.
Yeah, it's a con save. There we go. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, post it up again. It's fine.
There we go. DC 14.
Cool. All right, and that's like it's pretty much everything that we can see at the moment, except for this one down here.
It's the 3 surrounding me, and if the bird is there too, it also affect the bird.
The bird's not quite there yet. The bird's on its way.
So it's things surrounding me, basically. One square within me.
Adjacent, yeah, okay. So I've got 3 saves. The 2 little ones are going to roll, and it's a con save, and they have 0 bonus to that. 0.
It'd be
we've
cool if
got
it don't save.
one,
I think you'd be
one.
pushed off the edge.
That's what I was just thinking too.
Yeah.
All right. So the one that hasn't been hit will be the one that fails. The other one, and yeah, it will definitely get pushed off the edge. That's fine. And the boss guy is going to save now, and he's got a +2 to his.
Come on, though.
And he
Ugh.
saves. And they still take half damage, and they aren't pushed. I'm going to say for fun's sake that both of these, because the little one that's already hurt is already hurt, I'm going to push them both off, and I'm going to take them both out. But the big one is only a little bit damaged, and he's standing strong. So I'm just going to push these to the GM layer and deal him 2 damage.
Go down, go. Go down, go.
Yeah, either way. Only had more actions in a turn.
You can move still.
Yeah. And
What is this guy?
Sorry, what is he?
Yeah.
He's another gnoll. That one, let's see. That one looks kind of like almost between the two as a matter of like strength comparison. So the boss guy looks the strongest and the most mean. That one that you pointed to looks kind of in between that and the little one. So probably still pretty mean.
So Don's going to move up and around past Shard. I believe that's going to get me an attack of opportunity.
Sure.
I believe this point should be 30 feet.
All right. No worries. Well, yeah, he'll try for that. Let's see. And it's +5 with that guy. So, cool. +5. Yeah. And I guess he'll just do it with his. You know what? He'll just try to bite you again. All right. So it'll be another con save and another 6 damage. And again, you do feel the poison, but it's not going to have a negative effect on you at this point because you're just really resilient to that sort of thing. And at the end of your turn, so where did you actually go? Oh, you starting to get out of there? Okay.
Yeah, I moved up and around the top part of the ridge. Since I lost con on my spider climb with the first attacks.
Okay. Then this guy will move up to where Shard is and attempt to attack him. So he's going to 2 attacks. So he's going to slash at you twice with his claws. And you can see straight away that these guys are well capable of ripping a man's arms off. The normal man. You guys aren't normal men, obviously. So we've got +5 to hit. We've got 1 and 2. I think the 22 does hit you, Shard. And the 16 definitely does not.
Yes, the 22 hits.
Yeah, and he does hit quite especially hard. He's got quite a lot of strength in his arms. For 13 points of slashing damage. And that is his turn. One within 30 feet. Yep, can't do that. Cool. That's it for them. Then we've got Calva, who will land wherever she lands.
She lands here,
And-
gives the help action to Shard.
Yep. And Lana. You probably have heard enough of the ruckus by now, people yelling out, Silas responding to run, that sort of thing. So what would you like to do?
Oh, she's ready to hopefully deal some hurt. And she's going to kind of like look around, backtrack, like, I'm not going to strike. I'll help you. Get to here. And she's going to attempt another firebolt. And let's see if she has more success this time than the hunt. 18. Whoa. And so 18 points or 12 points of fire damage. Is it a contact?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. So yeah, she burns him for 12 points, and she just kind of does something like, "Yes, I did that," and looks back at us. I was like, "I did that." And as she does this, and she'll like quickly also take a 5-foot step back, as she's just kind of like pointing at like what she did, and just so proud, and then like and whatnot, and she just gets a horrid stench of the dead all around her, and she's like doubling over as she's trying not to throw up her guts.
Yeah. Also, when you do hit it with the fire, the outer layer of its clothing does get burned away a little bit. And for anyone that's close, which will be Shard at this point, you will see, Shard, that this one actually is wearing what looks to be a makeshift chain shirt and not hide as the boss guy is. So he's actually quite well outfitted, this particular one. Yeah, and Lana's trying to keep her lunch in, or breakfast, as the case may be.
I think I might still be able to see that. Because I said I was going to connect with Kalva, so I think I would have noticed.
Sure. Yeah, you can notice that. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then it's the boss guy, who will come in over here, and again, he will try to strike 3 times. So we've got, what is it, 1 bite and 2 claws that he can do. So 1 bite, no, and 2 claws, no, and no. So he just like feebly, well, not feebly, he strongly tries to slash and bite it at Shard, who just like stands there and laughs at him, probably being probably a good deal more experienced than this Knoll is in battle. Perhaps not stronger, but certainly more experienced. Maybe stronger as well. But yeah, definitely has no impact. And Shard, after seeing him fail 3 times, and clearly having the upper hand on him, what would you like to do?
Actually, the one to my south, I'm going to make 2 attacks against him.
All right.
With my longsword.
Okay. That's a no, and that's a no.
What does Kalva give me?
Advantage on the first one, so that one will actually hit. So with that first attack, you raise your sword and try to hit him, and he just like lifts his hand and goes to push your arm away as you bring it down. Unfortunately, you see at the last minute, or Kalva flies in at the last minute and sort of intercepts the arm coming up, and you manage to get your slash in at that last minute. So you do the 8, but the second attack still does not hit.
Use my bonus action to hit him with my offhand attack.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I take it he's let's see. I take it he's still standing.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to action surge, and I will swing at him at least 1 more, probably 2 more times.
Okay. So unfortunately, he's gotten wind of your actions. You miss on the First one and the second one hits again for another 6 points of damage. He's
Sounds like I
looking
look
bloodied
at
at this point.
Right.
Definitely got a number of quite severe sword wounds that are piercing through his hastily made or thrown together chain shirt. You're definitely making some progress with that. I'm going to give him -1 to armor class because you've hit him so many times. And
Okay. And that's the end of my turn.
all right, very good. So -1 to
All right.
armor class now, and
So-
we've got. Yep.
Okay, I was ready to go. I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
The null down here, because I might just replace this token with. Hang on. Let's see what's going on here. He is still in the order. I know you can't see it because I took the one. That's
Okay,
right.
yeah, so he moved
runs
to
up.
there.
He'll be able to run all the way up.
Okay.
And make a single attack, which probably won't do anything because he's only got like a +4 to hit. But we'll see. +4 to hit. 17 doesn't hit Shard.
Missed there. Iron Man.
But he is getting a bit swarmed. So, yeah, Silas.
Oh no, I got this. All right. So Sai's going to. Let me make sure I don't do this incorrect. All right. How big? Wait, that's the first question. That's what I was gonna ask. How big is this bush thing?
Big enough that it provides cover.
Mhm.
You can see through it, ish, but it does provide cover.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go crazy with it. All right, we're going to move to here so I can see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Passing Lana. I'm going to cast Ice Knife on this guy right here.
Yeah.
And let's hope that it hits. Give me just a second to get that done.
Whether it does or not, it'll still explode. But yes, being.
Yeah, exactly. But I hope to drop this guy and then explode, and everybody will have to take. Well, Kava will go away because she'll die regardless. But I can just cast her again, so it's not that big of a deal to me. Oops,
You heartless. Whatever, I'll just cast her again.
Eleven
Yeah,
versus
no,
AC
fucking
doesn't hit.
yeah. 11 doesn't
It's
hit
got
though.
really good pet insurance, though.
Right. It's called cast again.
Then they all
So-
roll deck saves.
Only a monthly
Yeah,
subscription,
14.
$9.99.99.
Don't you dare think the same thing about Hey You. She's dead, she's dead.
So 14,
I can't hear any of this still, right?
1.
No, you're not close. You're quite close
Brooke
enough.
is just enjoying like a nice sunny day. You guys are being
Jeez.
horrifically maimed off on the side. Brooke's just like, oh man.
So I believe that they all make it.
They do.
The
Every
shark
single one of
make
them
a
makes
deck save?
Yeah,
Yes.
and call it here. I'll take Kava and move over here because she's not really in the field anymore.
Oh, Charlie. Make it. Please don't die.
Yeah. Dex is really not Shard's good save.
Yeah, you don't.
Man,
So you take 6 points of cold damage.
And then I'm gonna,
friendly fire.
and then I do disengage back over here next to where Lana is and make sure she's okay because I did hear her purging as I ran by.
I'm fine. It's just dead body smell, I guess. Oh.
She's
Lordy.
just murdering
Oh,
innocents without any fear of repercussions. It's purged your day already.
You know.
All right, and is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn
Don.
because there's nothing to go.
All right. Don is going to conjure animals. He's going to summon some lions to our aid.
Some lions.
Yeah. Do you
Alright.
have tokens for
Hey,
that?
Lion.
I don't, but that's okay.
Okay. It's going to
lion.
summon him.
No.
You want to just use the gorilla once again? I'm fine with that. To me,
These
I
are
don't think it would be a big difference.
Are they large?
No, I don't believe they are. No, they're the challenge rating 1 lion, so it's just a standard animal. Yeah.
All right, and where would you like
Oh.
that?
They are large beast.
I think large is still normal for them.
Yeah.
Just like a
Yeah.
horse is
That is
large
a
with
fat
you know.
lion.
Yeah, it could just be a male lion. Male lions are bigger, just not as.
Yeah, it's the giant size, I think, is the ones that
Stocky.
take up 4
So
squares,
where just ping where you want.
I think. Yeah.
And do you want more than one? We putting more than one out?
2 of them.
All right. So over here. Okay, yeah. So sort of side by side.
Now, do they get to act right away?
So the way it works with them is they get their own initiative. So Matt, the way I think it would work to be easiest and most streamlined is I'll do a roll for them. We'll add them to the initiative order, and they can just go together.
What's actually going to happen is that casting that spell is actually going to put a narrative marker on this battle rather than an initiative marker.
Okay.
Because these gnolls are not expecting lions to come bounding out of the brush at them. And do they? Actually, I'll narrate what happens as we go.
What I was planning to do is yell at them to protect us from the gnolls, and
Cool.
then mechanic-wise, I was wanting them to basically do a bounding leap jump, try to knock them prone, and then the first one will off-raid to the second one.
Yeah,
they do the same.
I will. I'll sort that as we go. So I will put them. I'll roll for an initiative for them because that's only fair. What's their bonus?
Plus 2.
+2, yeah.
Okay, so I'll put them at 6. Okay. And descending. All right, and we were up to. So it's actually, they get to actually go straight away.
Cool, pouncing up.
And they will. They'll just come pouncing up. And I'm just going to make those 2 things prone because they are totally not expecting that. So it's advantage rolls. So I'm just going to narrate that it happens. They come bounding out of the brush, roaring. The gnolls just look absolutely flabbergasted by the fact that these massive lions have appeared out of nowhere. And the lions basically bite into them, make them prone, and so they're prone. Good job. I'm fine with that. Calva.
Yeah, actually, let me roll her dex because it's not bad to see if she made that or not. Just to see. So it's 1d6 + 1. I mean 1d2.
That's damage on top. Okay, I'll do the damage.
Not entirely sure how damage works for.
She actually made the roll, so she didn't get damaged by that.
Cool. Very good.
Cool. I'm glad. So she's right there. I am going to have her. Give me just a second. Is there anything I can do with her to slightly intimidate? Not that she's intimidating, because she's just a little bird, but is there anything that she could do as an action to do that? I'm going to have her land on top of Shard's head. Okay.
Right.
And do an extraordinarily, for if she can, as loud as she can, caw, just directly at the gnolls in front of her. And with the amount of animals that have surrounded around him, a guy that they can't hit, maybe they'll just bugger off. You know what I mean? And then I can't communicate to Shard through her, can I?
No.
Okay. So I reconnect to her, do that, do an an immensely loud caw with the lions on one side of her, the animal in front of her, a guy she can't hit. Maybe they'll just run away. So and then just go from there. So I guess it's Lana's turn.
Lana.
Shard doesn't get it. Sorry, that's funny.
Okay. So, Lana is trying hard to keep her songs about herself. And, goodness. Yeah, I think.
Can you make a wisdom save for me, Lana?
Sure thing. 18 in your face.
All right. Yeah. You're good.
All right. And from around the bush, just kind of like, oh, those are some big lions up there. I think they got this. She's going to just kind of take care of herself. I guess she'll have like an action ready if by chance something came running towards her, she'll pop it with a firebolt.
All right. So readied.
Yep.
Okay. So it's boss guy's turn. He is prone. He will stand up. And he's going to attempt an animal handling check. He's going to pull out from his pocket a slab of meat and throw it down at the lion's feet. So animal handling.
If you eat them, they're fresher.
And this isn't, to get them to attack us. This is to get them to not attack him. He doesn't realize that they're being summoned by someone, so he's trying to distract them. And so he's got a +2 to his check. 5.
Good job.
Yep, and that's his turn. The little one does not have. Sorry, it's not the little one's turn. So Shard, you've seen this happen. Seen these lions come bounding out, and you probably heard Don say commanding words to them, and you've probably spent, I don't know, if you agree, enough time with him to know what he does, but.
Well, I know he's a druid, and they're kind of animal hippies.
Yeah.
From Shard's point of view. If he has to kill the lions, he'll one at a time, let them line up. He'll keep on beating on the knoll to his immediate south. And come on. 2 more swings at him.
All right.
Oh no.
Yes. That first hit will bring him down instantly.
Okay. Then I will try to use my other attack on the big bad guy.
Wow. Yep, that'll hit.
And I'll bonus action. I'll use my offhand attack to try to hit the big bad guy again.
All right. That'll hit.
Okay.
All right. And, he looks beaten, but not bloodied.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it.
All right. The little one, just before you go, Silas, does not have the presence of mind that his leader does. These lions are crazy. He's going to roll a wisdom save. With no bonus. So, no bonus. Oh, he stands his ground for now. And yeah, he'll just like try and attack one. But you know, narratively, it doesn't matter whether he hits or not at this point. So Silas, go ahead.
Okay, so he's going. Oops, that's not what I do. So he's going to move to. All right, we're gonna do this right. He's in a bonus action blade song. Okay. So now I'm a 20 AC, all that fun stuff. I can move further. So I'm gonna bonus to here. Then I cast. Give me just 1 second to get it up here. Different pages, sorry. Then I cast this and move to here. And is there enough ridge there for me to stand just right there? Because it's 30 feet up, you said, so I can move 30 feet with it. I can see up there. So I can misty step to there. Is that correct? Or do you want me to move?
You can. Yeah, move there.
Okay, I don't have a problem with moving there. Shard. I gave the help action to Shard, so I don't get that. At that point, I still have no. Well, the misty step was my action, wasn't it? Yes.
No, it's a bonus action for Misty Step.
Oh, it is. Okay, so I did not use Blade Song then because I can't do 2 bonus actions, obviously. So I Misty Step up to here after moving, and because of that, I'm going to attack these guys.
All right.
And
Lana, while he's up there and making this attack, can you roll a charisma save for me? Okay, so let's go ahead and make your attack.
No problem. Thank you.
Oh, I make that.
Okay.
And I already bonused, so I can't do that. Okay, so it doesn't matter. We're going to attack first with the scimitar on the little dude.
Nope.
No, that misses badly. And I'll also hand crossbow him directly in the chest.
Yeah, he's out. He's gone.
Okay. Yeah, and at the end of it, I go. I don't think you can understand me because he's a knoll, but I go. There's nothing but death at this point. Stand down, and I point both of my weapons directly at him, and I'm using a lot of aggressive language. He may not understand it, but you know what I mean. And I certainly would like to try to intimidate him.
You may roll your intimidate. Don.
Not
You
really.
see only one combatant left.
Is he bloodied?
Yeah. 14.
Nearly. He looks beaten, but he doesn't look bloodied. But yeah, it's close.
All right. Give me just a moment and I'll pull up the roll for this. I'm going to produce a flame and toss it. I thought I already had this filled out. Oh, that was probably the other campaign.
Yeah, I couldn't copy the entire.
That's fine.
So I rolled a 14 on intimidation. How does he take that?
Well, you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. Okay.
Okay. This is damage. And I believe it's a 2-hit roll as well.
Wow. Yeah.
Range spell attack. What's that based on?
Oh, yeah.
Dex plus proficiency.
Doesn't matter. You got it. Easy. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16 points of fire damage. He is really hurt right now. Like bloodied, even worse than bloodied. Really, really, really hurt.
Lobs a globule of flame over top of the bush.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually set him on fire because you rolled two maximum rolls there. And he looks like panicked. It's technically the lion's turn. You can narrate that they finish him off if you like.
Yeah, so the blob of flame hits the gnoll in the chest, igniting him, and he panics, dropping his weapon and trying to pat out the flames. And the one lion grabs him by the foot, I'm not exactly sure what you referred to it. Also, no. It pulls him to the side as the other one dives onto his back and brings him to the ground, tearing into the flesh and making a grisly meal of the knoll.
All right. At
Poetic
this
justice
point,
for one who has torn apart the caravan.
At this point, I'm going to do a meanwhile as you guys were fighting in the camp.
Meanwhile,
Well, not in the camp. At the caravan where Brug and Carrie were, and the let me just bring up my notes here. Second, sorry. Demaya is seeming to get a little bit restless. The guys that sort of went to the south have been gone for a little bit, and she seems a little bit like perturbed, and she's like, "Are you sure that they should have gone by themselves?" He seems a little bit like, "Maybe we should go and check them out." And she looks to Brog and she looks to Carrie and she says, do you think we can go and just make sure that everything's okay? She seems a little bit concerned and what's not.
Brog responds, can't all leave caravan. Someone have to guard caravan. All leave, then caravan get jumped.
She'll nod and she'll be like, well, I guess you're right. And she'll still seem a little bit like concerned. She like looks over toward Flint and Valios and she sort of says, you guys can guard the caravan, right? And Flint sort of fronts up and he says, yeah, me and my guards. And like he brought a couple of dwarves with him. And so they'll sort of stand to attention and they'll be like, we've got this. You don't have to necessarily go, but I mean, she seems like she wants to go and check it out, make sure everyone's okay. So do you want to stay with the caravan or do you want to like go with her?
Brug will go with her. He's torn between, his two duties to protect and, his group. They're not children. They don't need their hand held the entire time.
That's true.
But they have been gone for a decent amount of time.
Yeah. And so
Brug will jump on Heyu's back and take off down that direction.
And so right as the battle
Deceptively small dog. It's really more like a skateboard.
And what's Carrie doing? Does Carrie come as well? Or is she going to stay with the caravan? You might be muted. She walked away. I'm not sure
She
what's
may have.
going on.
Because her camera's off as well.
Okay, so yeah, just as the battle is ending, Brug and Demaya will appear up to the north there.
Wait, the battle is over by the time he gets there?
Yeah, they sort of like come out of the brush just as you sort of land the finishing blow. Oh, the lions land the finishing blow.
Oh, good.
On her knees.
I will look over to the compatriot that I don't really know, and just go, see, they fine. Don't need babysitter. And Brug will turn Heyu around and head back to the caravan.
Yeah.
That's
Demaya.
His point quite made.
Wait, Brug! Don't leave without me.
Brug will kind of like turn around, expecting like sudden danger.
Lana just wants to be carried back to the caravan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
That's really what it is.
It stinks here. It smells like death.
All right, and Demaya will see like the knoll falling, and she'll just like get this look of fury, and she'll just like storm up to them, and she'll like spit on his corpse and be like, you're the reason I've been heated so much.
Wait, who?
Whoa.
At the knoll, at the dead knoll.
I was like, did Brooke just
Whoa.
get spat on? Hold on.
Whoa, girl, what's that all about?
Well, she's half knoll.
Oh, she's half null. Okay.
I was tempted to have
The
Lana
more
kind
you
of
know.
like, hey guys, we work for one of your people, so don't attack us. But I was like, no, she wouldn't be smart enough to say that.
Yeah, so she's just like in a rage at this point. Demaya, she's just like kicking the corpse and like spitting on him and just like, if it wasn't for animals like you, it might have actually been treated with some respect and blah blah blah. Just yeah.
Rawr.
Probably
Donald make
the barking and the growling. As much as X is going to give it to you, I don't think fits the part where she's trying to get them to not treat them like animals.
Yeah.
Don will make an effort to restrain Demaya. They're dead. They're dead. Leave them be.
And she sort of gets sort of an embarrassed look on her face as she realizes that she's sort of gone into a bit of a degenerate state, and she sort of backs away a little bit, and she looks a little pale, and she looks around and she sees all of the dead bodies, and she sort of starts to like go a bit weird, and then she's like, because you're looking down upon the caravan, and she sees the crate that's there that does have some items still in it, and she says, "There's some vials down there. We've got something in them."
Yeah, it was just gonna be right then once we were stopped with all of that. Now this is sheer. It's a sheer face there. Okay, so he misty steps back down here. I'll use my second, one of those, so I don't have to try to climb down. And I would like to go over and kind of take a look around now that I feel like danger is gone.
All right.
And go ahead and look around at everything.
So most of the caravan has been like destroyed, looted. You do find 3 vials that are intact, and I would need an Arcana check
I can
to
do that.
identify them.
Yeah, I can do that. And then I'm gonna send Calva around here to fly. Are the flaps open on these ones? Like, would it be able to fly like right through it and look through and see?
Yeah,
if
they've all
anything
been
else in
like teared open and stuff, so she can like. Go
there? Is
and
there
check it out.
anything? Is there anything else that looks like of any value in either of the other two?
I'll have a look
whatever.
for you.
Okay.
So yeah, just give me a second.
Yep. Let me get that Arcana check for you. $15.
Okay. Yeah. You identify these vials as vials of ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm.
Brug.
Does he know?
Brug.
Does he know what that is?
It's
I hear
basically
them-
the
I
essence
hear
of
them shouting
ghost.
For me,
Yeah.
I'll assume they catch me as I'm heading back, and with the sun shouting, Brooke will sigh and turn. Hey, you back around again?
And
I'm sensing a trend already of like having to go back and forth.
that's awesome. But it's certainly something that he'd put him in his pouch. And again, knowing that everything's okay in this region, because I can see it, but I definitely want Calva to kind of look around the other two to make sure there's no other movement, anything like that, before he makes his way over to anything else.
All right. Let's see. Got that. Yeah. They're in amongst the rest of the stuff. You find more silk, and there's several crates of you know, high fashion kind of clothing, which is obviously from Carrie's family. And that they have been opened but not really looted. Like the Knolls looked, mostly it seemed that they were after food and stuff like that. They didn't know what the vials were. Obviously, some of the silks have been destroyed, but there's some of them that haven't. So you can have, you can have maybe one crate. You know, you can sort through all of the different silks and have one crate that's salvageable, that hasn't been ripped up by these Knolls.
Sure. I would shout up to Silas. I am Silas. Up to Shard and tell him
Silas!
to Silas. Okay, do this thing. Yeah.
I thought that was the crazy one.
Yeah, you know. I shut up to Shard to check the bodies of the Knoll because you said they were well armed, so on and so forth, to see if anything looks great on them, or anything like that. And then I would be carrying the crate back towards the caravan and present it to Carrie.
All right. So Shard, how well do you search these bodies?
Probably fairly well. I mean, Silas is going to be down there for a while gathering silks and putting them together, so I figure I'll have at least 5 or 10 minutes to.
All right. In that
a little
case,
longer.
You find a damaged chain shirt, which was with that one that you damaged. You find some hide. It's not really usable by humanoids. They've got a strange, like, hunched kind of body, like a hyena, you know. So it's kind of like, it's a bit beefier than a human.
Needs to be refitted.
Yeah, it needs to be refitted. But that stuff is there. The one thing of note that you find, being that you're here for a little while, the leader has a necklace around him, and you can see that there are big like balls of something and on the necklace, and they're you realize that you can open them, that they're like they've got like a screwing kind of mechanism, so you can like split them in two. And there are 3 of these big baubles, and then there are smaller ones that sort of make up the rest of the necklace. But you think that these are really strange. You haven't sort of seen a container like this. And you think, and it does feel like there's something inside of them.
I'll open one up and see what's inside of it.
All right. There's like a green, horrible kind of liquid. It's very thick, like kind of. So it's not just like water or whatever. It's very thick kind of liquid. And from first glance, you aren't sure what it is. But it has a pretty bad smell.
I will close it back up, and I'll take the necklace with me.
Yeah, so you would probably need to show it to someone that, or make an identifier yourself, or show it to someone who might have some idea of what this is. But from first glance, you don't know.
I'll take it to Don first and see if he knows what it is.
All right. Don, I would need a nature check with disadvantage.
Well, let's see here.
All right, what did we get?
Did I determine the nature of the necklaces?
Oh, yeah.
She definitely.
You do get some information. So what you determine is that the green liquid is mucus. You're not sure from what?
Does everybody hear that echo?
Yes.
Really weird.
Yeah.
I don't hear it anymore.
Is it me? Not me.
Not sure.
Is it me?
It probably is me.
I think it is me.
Speakers being picked up by my mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, you determine that it's mucus, but you don't know of what.
Some sort of mucus. I don't recognize any particular source.
And you
Okay.
have no idea why a gnoll would have a necklace of mucus balls.
Do you want it?
Maybe it's an arcane thing. See if Silas knows.
Okay.
I'll pass on it for now.
Okay. I'll take it over to Silas and say, hey, do you want some balls filled with mucus?
Silas, you're interested? Mucus. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, I look at him, I go, the fuck would I want balls of mucus for?
Oh,
That came off a knoll,
Don
nonetheless.
suggest. Yeah, they're no balls of mucus.
Go? Well, let me see.
I took them to Don. Okay.
You want me to go Arcana again?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 20. No, unnatural.
All right. You believe that, or you remember something about something with mucus that was stated a little while ago in the druid reagents that Brug requires. And you look at this and you go, mucus? It might be the mucus that he's looking for.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'll tell you what, give that to Brug, because I believe he may need that for what we're trying to do to rectify the fact that we shouldn't have killed those ladies.
I like to imagine that we don't
Brug
actually
need
have
what?
a need for it. We're
As,
just passing the item along and everyone's too polite to say no.
It's just like, oh, mucus,
Okay.
thanks. What am I meant to say?
Oh, that's great.
Guard?
That's you know, I
Brug,
should give this
considering,
to somebody else because I'm sure they'll want it much more than I will.
Yeah, thanks, Shard. I didn't. But then he kind of gives him more of a wink when he says that we shouldn't have killed those ladies, only saying it because Brug's there. You know what I mean? Silas doesn't feel any ill will to that. But I would like to give the stuff to Kari and say, this was in the caravans. This is all I could salvage. I don't know if you'd know anybody down there. There wasn't anybody there wasn't any tieflings, right?
Brug, hearing the fact that he was shouted for earlier and getting back to this group, we'll say, what Brug want?
Apparently, you might be interested in some no balls filled with mucus.
Yeah, I think it's the stuff that was on the list there, Brug.
And I'll open one and show it to him, but I'm not handing it to him.
So, what do I see? Do I see no mucus?
You just see mucus at this point.
But I identify it as no mucus, to you because it was something that I think it might be that. I don't know.
I haven't seen it before at all.
The reagent that you were tasked to find was mucus from an albino grimlock, or 3 globs of mucus from albino grimlocks. You, from first glance, no one's able to tell whether this is mucus from an albino grimlock because no one's ever seen a mucus from an albino grimlock before.
I never even heard of an albino grimlock. I'm just kind of assuming that it exists somewhere in the world.
So
Maybe you just don't know the
this
difference
mucus has the random potential that it possibly maybe could be, but you have no idea if it is or not. It's just mucus at this point.
Well, seeing that it's definitely not albino, what have you, mucus, Brug will kind of will just shrug and be like, Brug need, he'll list the specific mucus. If this just null mucus, Brug don't need.
I still think we might want to keep it, Brug. Just restore it.
Just in
No big
case,
deal.
maybe.
Yeah.
If
Brug will pat
Brug
you on-
can't tell
Brug will-
difference, Spell won't be able to tell difference either.
Brug will pat you on the shoulder and be like, okay, but you can carry it, and Brug will go through the rest of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Shard has been the odd man out with the snot.
Maybe
Brug
Kara
isn't
will want to
stupid.
go
He's
best.
not just going to carry 3 globs of random mucus around. Already got-
They're in balls. They're in.
Actually, if they're just in like bulbs, like little round orbs.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
like I guess it's like a sort of smooth but rough kind of coconut kind of thing, but they screw together.
Yeah, Brug will carry it. Why not? There's worse
Okay.
than worse things in this pack before.
Okay, it's yours now.
Well, if you decide you don't want to, let him know, because as a player, I can think of a million things to do with that.
Like
Cool.
snort it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like liquid gold to someone.
It's
who
got
knows?
hallucinogenic properties like you wouldn't believe.
Where's that kitty?
I left the cat with the girl on the farm.
But took the dog.
Brug will mount back up and head back to the caravan. You can't leave it for too long before something horrible happens.
No. Roll initiative.
Yeah, roll initiative. Rawr.
So yeah, you know what I mean.
We just
You
come
know,
back
so
and
again-
throw off the
Hey, I'm
caravan instead.
slain.
So again, I do talk with. Are you there, Christina?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I do talk with Carrie and go. And that was another question for you, Matt. There weren't any tieflings there, or were there?
There
Bodies?
no. They're
No?
just
Okay.
merchants, but they're,
Right.
like I said, you do find an entire crate worth of salvageable, non-ripped silks that are definitely for the latest fashions, that have definitely got the symbol of Carrie's house on.
Okay, yeah, and I go ahead and I just say to set it onto the wagon or whatever, and say we got some more silks. Yeah, it's all that was usable there.
She would pass
And he-
away. Go ahead.
And he wouldn't mention the ectoplasm to anybody.
There is one last thing that Shard finds, in addition to what we've already said. There is, not on any of the corpses themselves, but you had a good chance, a good couple of minutes to like search around, and in one of the holes that they emerged from, you do find a small pack that was sort of hidden in there. When you pull the pack out and look inside, there is it's an oil can.
Well, that I'll keep.
Gonna have a wild party tonight, eh, Shard?
I'll hold it up and show it to the others. Any idea why they would have had this?
You think it's probably not the gnolls? It may have been part of the caravan that they've like stashed it away. Like the gnolls have stashed it away.
Okay. I'll throw the pack onto our caravan, and I'll take the oil can and put it in my own gear,
All right,
into my own pack.
cool. Very good. Well, pretty much that's all you find. The rest of it's just like old gnoll clothes and ripped crap, and yeah, just not very useful to anyone. So, cool. I guess we'll move on in that case.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Are we just gonna be riding along, or whatever? Is that cool?
Yeah, so
I'd like to have a
for the next
conversation.
little while, and in the town of let's just see what that town was called again.
In the lands of yore.
So you can rest sort of
Interesting.
in
You're very robotic, by the way.
in
Yeah, it's all standing for Mary, actually, I believe.
yeah, Zilspar is kind of like halfway between Shan and Trolanport, so you guys can rest there. Any RP that you want to do,
Yeah. I got a thing.
you can do now, and we'll do the next leg of the journey, and then we'll call it a session. So next leg of the journey shouldn't be quite as long. So
Cool.
Yeah, really cool. So so we all get our long rest. Everything comes back, right?
You've got basically it's another week of just like travel to Zilspar, and then and then you've got maybe a day or two or three, however much long you want to spend in Zilspar, and do whatever you want to do there.
Are there hunting parties? Will people go out hunting for like food?
Yeah.
Along the way, or
along the way.
Cool.
Certainly.
Lana wants to go join them.
Brug is really. I'm guessing Brug and Heyu is really the hunting party.
Ooh, yeah. Lana would love to go. Like, it would also probably strike you as just very bizarre, but she's just gonna be like, "Can I? What are you hunting today? Can I come help you? I just wanted to try out hunting." And she looks kind of antsy. One of the days that this happens. So if they let her go, that'd be super.
Yeah. Well, she can go hunting, and she does. They go hunting, and along the way, there's a path that leads off like the place where they're hunting, and they sort of like point down the path and they say, "Oh, there's nothing interesting down there. Let's continue to hunt." And to you, and your complication for today is that's kind of like a big red button that says "Do not push."
Excellent. Like I'm playing up because it's since the hunt was like the last kind of kill that she's had, so it's kind of like in this. I wonder if animals will have like the same kind of effect. I'm gonna go hunting, so yeah, to have this is like.
Yeah, they're like, don't worry about what's down there. It's nothing interesting, and you're like, ooh.
She goes and checks it out anyways.
All right, so you go down, and there's a rickety. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry to jump in, but Shard would have gone wherever Lana goes.
Yeah, that's fine. So he would go along with it, and you both see a rickety old sign, okay? And the sign has like painted word on it. So the word is T, something that's crossed out, OLL bridge. T, something crossed out, OLL bridge.
Huh. Toll bridge ahead.
Yeah.
No. Not toll bridge. Troll bridge.
Oh. Maybe. Like, I think we just made a mistake. Like, come on, Chart. It's a wooden sign. Like, you can't just erase it like pencil. So.
I'll take my swords out. It's like, okay, I'll beat it down. You burn it.
Shark's so awesome. She's just looking, doing her thing. Yeah, and she'll just. Then she'll like maybe after a few paces, she would turn back and be like, "Did Brug and Heyu come?"
Soul Bridge.
Soul Bridge.
Oh. But yeah, she'll just.
I like
kind of
that
keep
you
wandering,
leave and
just like,
then ask if Brug and Heyu came.
like,
oh,
he's
yeah.
like Shard followed her.
Right.
It's like, oh, I know they said don't go this way, but I don't. You followed, so why did they?
Yeah, like you can. It's up to you guys. Like you can have gone with her or not. It's like a role play choice, I guess. Would you have wanted to go hunting? It might have been something a bit different from sitting in a caravan and having nothing happen.
Brug and Hey, you will go on it.
Cool.
If only to make sure that this person carrying a much tinier person doesn't get mauled by things that are
exactly. Exactly. Shard could care less about hunting, but there's a pregnant woman he has to go around.
Well, Brug cares about the hunting, but he also cares
Maybe
about.
we'll like find. What if we find like an owl bear, or maybe we'll find like an elk with like a great set of. Like almost comparable to Dawn's. I bet Dawn would appreciate a new mask. Like, what if we
This is the part where Brug just starts tuning out what she's talking about. She's
totally just walking, just like, oh my gosh, we could find this or that, and just way too excited, not taking this seriously. Like, probably talking so loud that all the animals in a 5-mile radius is like vacated. Like, maybe we'll find something new. I don't know. This is exciting.
There could be like a cave
hunted
full
for my
of
own
treasure.
food.
Dragon.
As the chatting between the two of them goes on and gets steadily louder, he's guessing. Brug will turn to them.
Hey, you.
Brug predicts we not catch anything. And he'll look very pointedly at both of them.
Yeah, hey, you'd be getting so annoyed. Like, she probably got, like, walk up to one and, like, bumped her or something. Like, shut up. Like, shut her up. This is not going to help us.
That's a tree you're talking to.
Maybe.
Swords make lousy hunting weapons anyway.
I have a dagger. I can throw it.
You need to go out. I need to put my dog out. I'll be right.
It's time, everybody, break.
Break.
So, who's in here right now? Just out of curiosity.
I am.
Okay, so just to maybe warn slightly, the conversation that is going to happen between Lana and I is in character, obviously. It's maybe
I will be
heated,
taking it
that's
as
all.
your true. I'm gonna say it's your true emotional feelings, and have nothing to do, and is more of your meta bleeding into your character.
Have you, when you guys were looking through the stuff, did you find like a travel log or anything of that nature within any of the
Nothing like
caravan?
that. He didn't say anything like that.
All right.
It's a good
Sorry.
thing to ask. It's a good thing to ask when we get back. Go ahead and ask him.
When they were looking through the stuff, Matt, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. When they were looking through stuff, was there like a manifest or like a travel log?
Yes. Sure.
The biggest reason what Carrie would be interested in, where exactly was this caravan headed to with their shipment?
To Zilspa.
To where we are right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was probably headed beyond here, but this was the next major stop.
Okay.
Generally, most shipments would go Zilspa, Xanthus, Trolanport, Luquin, Oskalor, Quesq.
When were they expected
Uh,
to arrive within the
yeah.
time?
So it would have been. So it took you another week to get here. So about when you left Shan-ish.
Oh shit. Well, she would find whoever the shipments were for and tell them the news. Like, hey, so I'm a representative from the Fair family, and the caravans that were destined with your shipments will not be arriving.
Okay.
Hmm.
So they will just be like, what do you mean they won't be arriving?
They were attacked. And everything was
And
scrapped. Most of the things were scrapped within.
they but there was like a big shipment of silk to arrive. I mean,
She'd
we're
hold
having
up she'd hold up her finger. Ah, yes, that crate did make it. And she would walk over to the caravan where Silas had brought it over and show them the crate or what was left of it.
there's like an exasperated look on their face, and they're like, this is only like a third of what we ordered. And you know, and there's a couple of people that you're talking to, you know, a couple of representatives,
Yeah, of
and they sort of start arguing with each other. Oh, don't say that, you know, these people got attacked, and you know, it's lucky that anything, you know, was salvaged. And the other one's like, yeah, but we have really important stuff, you know, like, and so they banter back and forward for a bit. And the nicer of the two sort of like turns back, or nicer of the three turns back and sort of says, oh, sorry to ask you so many questions. Were there any survivors?
She shakes her
And
head.
I think Silas would chime in and go, "You want to know something? It's about a day's journey back. If you want to go see all the shit, then go look. You want to know what it is? You're lucky that you got this because we salvaged it for you. We don't have time for this.
Carrie would
Do you
curse
want
under her
the
breath.
silks or not?"
It is my business. This is my family's business. She would look at him, and her wings would kind of ruffle a little, and she'd look back. I apologize, savages.
And he would and then he'd, you know, just walk off. But you know what I mean? It's like we salvaged what we could. You know, he says as he walks away.
She just shakes her head and just looks back. I apologize.
And you hear, Carrie hears under one of the people's breath, bloody adventurers.
She just, yes, and she just kind of like fan her face for a second, trying to cool it off from blushing from her frustration.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll accept that one crate, and they'll say, I guess we can give you a third of the cost, since there's only a third being delivered.
She shakes her head. No. It's a gift from the fair. We're sorry that your entire ship didn't arrive.
And Silas didn't hear the fucking adventurers thing, right?
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they're like, they're obviously really impressed that you'll just give it to them and what's not, and they'll say, "Oh well, the least that we can do is offer you a place to rest safely, and have a meal with us." And
She says, "Of course."
so they'll provide for the party for as long as you stay in Zilspar, for the fact that you've delivered this to here for free of charge.
And she would put her hand over her heart and bow humbly. "Thank you. I'm sure those within my company will appreciate it, even if they do not outwardly express it."
All right. Is there any more role play between the party members before we?
Yes.
In the meantime, Don's saying, "Man, I can never get tired of these berries," as he pops one into his mouth from the. Right, guys? These things are just incredible.
Yeah, great. As Silas is, maybe you did that, you know what I mean, as we were invited to come and eat, Silas has like a turkey bone in his mouth. Yeah, it's great. And then later that evening, when we all have our own accommodations or whatever, I'm assuming that Silas and Lana would be together as usual.
Like this isn't an inn. You're all in the same room. So
okay. Well, then he would definitely invite her to have a private conversation with him.
Okay.
Okay.
And he looks at her and goes, "How you doing?"
I'm
with all of this.
guessing the hunt went successfully. If this is happening the same day as the hunt, or is this before or after?
Yeah, I mean, we can resolve what you guys do on the hunt as well, since we've had a few different sort of.
Basically, it just depends on kind of like what her mood is. Like, if she was able to kill something, she'd be in a very good mood. Just as she's just like, I got to kill. But like, if she still hasn't had a chance to kill something, like she'd be a little antsy. So I was like, I'd
say no, she hasn't, and that's kind of why she was all curious. And I'm. What did you guys want to do? Like when you saw the sign and that, like, did you want to go and like?
Vonna kept going like, I want like Tollbridge, whatever, la 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 la. We're gonna find like maybe we'll find an elk bear or an elk with an even more impressive rack of antlers for Dawn. Like, I bet he'd really appreciate a new skull cap or something. Would that be kind of cool? Or and like just that rambling and like. Brug and Hey, you just kind of frustrated with the fact that like she just keeps talking.
Brug is evolving slowly over time from irritated to openly hostile. So it's like if they run into passerbys, Brug is just gonna glare at them with his axe out and just be like, ah!
Yeah. Well, when you get to the bridge, you will find that there are indeed 2 troll bodies. That are long dead. They've been picked a little bit by burnt? Carrion. They're not burnt, no.
Brug will pull out a torch. Regenerate unless you burn them. Brug knows this. Common knowledge.
Funnily enough, when you approach with your torch, you do notice that right where their hearts are, there's deep acid burns.
Is it like an accurate burn or like a splash over its heart? Or is it like more
like over its chest where their heart is?
That's what I'm asking. Is it more like someone has thrown like something that's splashed over it and eaten through? Or is it like something has burnt right through where the heart is?
It's more like someone's thrown it on. It's like splashed in. Like
so it's just like the whole chest cavity's kind of.
Burnt through a little bit.
Okay.
So it's clear from that
the torch and put it away.
That the fire isn't required.
Brug will investigate though, since he's kind of here to protect the party. He can't just go letting them wandering into a bunch of troll bodies.
Well, as you are starting to investigate, you will see some vials nearby, which is like the shattered remains of acid acid vials that have been that were obviously the source of the acid. So it's just like shattered glass and stuff. You find the trolls' weapons. Let's see. Let me have a look here.
What weapons do the trolls have? Don't they have like big old claws? Damn it, who is outfitting trolls?
So basically, let's see. It's not weapons. They had really long, sort of claggy hair. They had strips of cloth over their vitals. Really long claws. Longer than any dagger. Probably claws.
Is there any other signs of battle other than the thrown vials? Any evidence of where whoever took them out have gone? Because it could just go from like trolls to bandits.
Yeah.
Not immediately trusting that a good Samaritan just decided to pass by with a pound of acid.
Yeah, it seems really odd. No, there's no other signs of battle. Just these vials. It just the whole scene looks a bit out of place. Like, why would there be dead trolls here, like underneath this bridge with only broken glass?
Underneath the bridge?
Like, or around, yeah, basically underneath the bridge.
All right, that's very suspicious.
Yeah, and
even more so, which is weird for a scene where a bunch of trolls are dead.
Yeah, it's just like none of it really makes sense to you. And they have been picked by carrion, but there's still like, there's still some blood around. There's still like, but yeah, there's not really any. There's no like weapon marks on their bodies, just acid and glass.
I mean, Brug's gonna, look around and give it a look-see, but if nothing's there, then he's just gonna make sure the road's clear for them. But he will journey ahead, axe out and openly hostile. Okay. So that, if anything gets jumped, it's him before the caravan.
All right. Well, in the time between then and maybe the next time you camp, you are able to make a quick hunt, grab some maybe some venison, rabbit, maybe. Small prey, or small to medium prey. Yeah.
Able to land
lessens
a kill?
the burden.
Yeah, she can kill something and relax a little bit. Brug
has you shoot one of the rabbits he's already killed. It's like, oh, wow, what a good shot.
She's like, so are we supposed to skin these or something, or what else are we supposed to do, to I guess prepare it?
What's that for?
Skin them. You put over fire and cook them.
To avoid the amount of RP to go into just cooking things, Brug will explain how to cook something.
Awesome, and
or at least really Brug's interpretation. I should mention it's at least Brug's interpretation of how to cook something. So, good luck.
Yeah, no, if he teaches her the basics, how to gut and skin something, that's pretty much, that'll be a highlight. I skinned a rabbit today, Silas. It was awesome. Goodness. I didn't know traveling could be so much fun. I didn't do this the first time when I went to Sharon. Yeah. But then again, I wasn't as interested in, hunting. But, yeah. Oh, Sharon.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait to tell Brent about this. This is good. Oh, and as she kind of mentions that, it's she just kind of face kind of falls just a moment. I kind of miss the people back home. Like,
Oh yes,
think he's
certainly.
quite
Ren,
interesting.
totally.
Oh my god,
That was a great night we had with him.
it was.
It's what time in the day is it right now?
You guys determine
After the hunt, so probably evening. Everyone's getting
Yeah.
ready to settle down for the night or something.
All
Watches
right,
are
if
being.
it's getting into nighttime, Brug will sleep and he'll take one of the later watches to take advantage of his
Okay.
dark vision.
Absolutely.
Fine. Brug will settle in. He'll use a pillow and just kind of pass out.
Okay. So and he looks at her and goes, "Yeah, you know what I mean. That was a quite some evening. I got to say something here. It's been weighing on me a bit that this baby might not be mine.
She's just kind of like narrow eyed, like kind of like, what? Like,
Well, yeah.
well, and
But-
she like
but
she's
here's
gonna rack her
the-
brain
here's-
like,
here's
do
the
I
reason.
lie about this or like?
No, yeah,
This is
no,
this is a private conversation, right?
yes, very much. So.
Okay, just making sure.
They've like gone outside.
We went off on a walk or
maybe.
whatever. Yeah. I mean, we've gone off on a walk, and nobody that we know is around us. Because
Yeah,
and the
that's like-
and the reason I say that though, sweetie, is because what happened at Barut's lair falls into the same time period that would make it so that
Oh, I was just that, and
So-
she's just folding her arms in front of her, just like that was just talked about. But it's just, I don't think that's a likelihood, honestly, Silas. Like one time, really.
yeah, but all it would take was one time. But now
No,
it's
stop for a second, Lana.
Uh-huh.
Tears, please.
Yeah, this is some pretty heavily emotional stuff for a woman.
It is.
This
And,
is
like,
fucked up. Let's be honest.
Hold on.
When he says that, like, it only takes
Hold
some
on.
time. It's kind of that, like, she's rubbing her face because she's trying so hard, but like,
But
as
it's-
if he looks
it's
at
more
her
so-
again, like, it is teary eyes going on right now. Just like,
It's also more so the fact that it's not just the fact that this person is questioning your morals and your values, etc. It's also the fact that you are hormonally imbalanced from the baby, who is now
Right.
being
Oh, yeah.
questioned. That
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
the person. the
where's
person that
Maury?
we all
We need
are
to get
made
Maury
up
in
with.
here.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
father.
But that's awesome. So, but he does, and he looks at you, and he goes, you can't lie to me. It's near impossible at this point.
what do you mean I can't lie to you? And like,
Well, but
she's kind
you
of
know what I
mad
mean?
at this
And-
point when he says it. Like, what do you mean?
But
I've been
the
so
point
good
being
so
is that
far,
I mean,
so,
you
like,
can't-
what do you mean I can't lie to you? What do you know that I have lied about? And she's just
But it's-
getting
but-
very.
it's not that. It's the fact that you can't not rule out that possibility unless is there anything else I don't know about, sweetie?
And for the first time since in these last 2 months, you remember how you'd stopped getting the weird like
Shampoo fail.
liquid shampoo
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, because he's brought it up, and because you're in this emotional state for the first time in that time, you've got that feeling again.
Damn it!
Oh shit! Sorry. That was a little bit, but he,
anything else you should know about, and she's just like, and just starts rubbing her face like, no, it's back, and just wiping her face, and just like, no, I nothing. It's not. It can't be. I don't even want to think about it being hit. Why would you remind me of that? And she is just going off.
well, that's a awfully what? He says that's and another thing that's been bothering me, and now that we're already here, why did you run to Rin that evening when you should have stayed with me? Why did you run to him?
Evening?
What evening? You mean when we all came back, we had just won the hunt, and you decided to go see him?
Because you
You told me you went to go see him.
You pissed me off. Like we
After
were
the hunt?
out there. Yes, during the hunt, we were out there, and I was trying my best, putting to work all the training you've done with me, and still I wasn't good enough because I went to run after Shard and got attacked in the process, and then you run off as
Fell in
we're
a
fighting
hole?
this thing, not working with me, and I get buried. And you wonder why I ran off to him?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think at this point, it should be, and I would like very much roll insight on that.
You may do so. Meanwhile,
Right, it's at least a 14. Okay, sorry, just go.
Sorry, guys.
Meanwhile, I'll let you post your check, and then I'll go back over to the others.
That's a 20.
Cool. All right. Meanwhile, back in the ranch. What is everyone else doing while this is going on?
If they roll
Is
high
it-
enough, they might
that's-
be screaming.
Brug is trying to sleep, and these two are just shouting at each other. Brug is just like, please kill me. Just ice pick
Is
my
this drawing
ear, for
attention?
the love of God.
It could possibly, but
how-
like she's not trying to be quiet about it. Like she's pissed right now and emotional and hormonal and all those fun things that she gets to be. Woo!
I think that you can't hear whose voices are yelling, but I think you can hear yelling coming from the street. It's like somewhere where you don't know. There's you know Lana and Silas did go out a little while back, and you hear yelling, but you don't hear what they're saying, and you don't hear whose voices it is. I don't think it's fair to, yeah.
Shard will at least
Brug
look
is
at a
beyond the point of
window.
caring who's yelling.
Yeah.
Shard will look at a window.
So, like, amidst all this yelling, I guess when she stops talking, like, it's obvious that she is something is on her mind. She's antsy, back to being antsy again.
And
Brug understands that you
you know-
don't piss off a mama bear.
So assuming that
Yeah.
we can hear the yelling, but we don't know it's them yelling, but they're still close enough to do some kind of interactions with, and if we're trying to sleep, I think it would make a lot of sense for Dawn to cast Gust of Wind to try to make them knock it off. Kind of like you throw water out and cast or something.
So, you know, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming a 20 makes it so I know that she's not giving me the full truth. And then I look at her and I go, and I guess that last thing that really bothers me is, what was that fucking kiss about? He kissed you more than what you would kiss a friend goodbye, because he knows that you're my girl.
On the cheek.
He kissed you on the cheek as if he loved you.
Are we, like she's going to try once more, just be like, are we really back to you trying to convince me that Rin loves me or something?
Because he does.
If it gets to the point where they've argued for like more than 2 hours, and
No,
and hold on,
No.
hold on, just let me state it. If it goes on for a horrendous amount of time, and then Brug hears what the conversation about, Brug is just going to be going up in a sleepy state, and Brug just be like, "It Brug, baby, just shut up, please, let me sleep."
It's so awesome.
I want that to happen so bad. I want
It's
that
not
to
gonna be
happen.
2 hours. I'm gonna tell you that. I can tell you that. But yeah, so and he's really pressing you at this point, and like there's more to this. There has to be. Tell me the truth, Lana. The truth will will set all of this free. I promise.
Oh no!
No, you did not just say that.
And this is where it hits,
my-
and this is where it
I have to
actually
process
goes to the
this.
2 hour
Like,
mark.
Holy crackers!
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so-
gonna
Okay, yeah.
say-
At 2 hours,
Okay, so
Shard's going
Silas-
outside to find out what the hell is going on.
So Silas says that, and Lana like just through these tears and whatnot, just like this moment of just like, did I just hear you? The truth will set me. And she's going to ponder for probably a good solid minute as she just continues to war with herself. And
Well, no, actually,
no?
in like you go silent. That's fine. In your head, reverberated in like 1,000 voices, is the phrase, and it just keeps on going because this is like world shattering that he said that. Brug does, stumble across the conversation, hears something
Has
about
it reached
baby,
that point?
and then just says what he said because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You don't hear him, Lana, because all you hear in your head are the echoes.
I also don't stick around to see their reactions or be questioned about it. I immediately try and go back to sleep.
Go back to
For God's
sleep, yeah.
sakes.
And as you walk away, I tell you to fuck off.
Brug pointedly
100%.
ignores you because he doesn't even hear it in his sleep delirious state.
Oh no, that's fine. You know what I mean?
I'm wondering if Shard is just like, that son of a bitch.
No, Shard is going to go investigate at this point.
Yeah. Like there's people all out in the night. Like there's lights going on down the streets.
Yeah, Brug
Shard's walking up with his hands up.
I should mention for the new people of the party, there's no subtle bone in Brug's body.
Yeah.
So if Brug can get through a conversation
Right.
without
Shard goes up
shouting,
with his
it's a
hands
miracle.
up. What the hell is going on?
Lana doesn't hear you, but Silas will.
Yeah.
I look at Silas.
No.
What the hell is going on?
What the problem is that this really isn't yours, and I know that you are very close to the two of us, but she is clearly holding something from me, Shard. She's clearly holding something from me, and I need to know the answer.
She's holding your child. Of course, she's holding something from you.
We're talking more than just the child. There's much more of a story behind this child than there is just a baby being born. Because, and then he lays it out for him about Barut, so on and so forth, where that she's certainly went to visit him one time. He wasn't there for the kiss, so he didn't see that. He lays all of it out on the line for Shard.
So
goes,
another man's in love with your woman. It happens. So what? Either
Well, could that
you
be-
love her or you don't.
Oh, I love her more than I
That's
can even
it.
talk. And what the answer is
Then
is
another-
that if there's now maybe the possibility of two fathers, is there three, Lana?
Oh,
Does
you
she
did
hear
not
him?
just say that.
Oh, I absolutely said that.
Shard will say that out loud. Oh, you did not just say that.
Sorry, I'm gonna
Run.
Lana, Kari is the third.
Shard puts his hands in the swords and says,
Oh.
run.
Wow.
Do you think I'm afraid of you, Metal Man?
The swords are coming out. I don't expect you to be. I don't think you're afraid of me. You could
Go
possibly
away. This has
even
nothing
take
to
me
do
out.
with you.
This or is she
It
still
does
kind of-
now.
Sorry, what, Mary?
Is Lana able to come to this, or is she still kind of in a daze?
Give it a second.
Okay.
I
I
want
do
to say
need to message Matt on something so that
Yeah.
if it does occur, you can initiate it
Right.
without being colored by what people are doing at that moment. So give me one moment, guys.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. We just gotta step back from stuff for a second and just see how this all goes. Yeah.
Fucking
All
shaking
of
your
the
head.
emotions.
This is crazy.
Man.
Because this will bring people together real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, sure. So I'm going to resolve one thing at a time, all right? So Shard has pulled his swords on you, Silas. What are you doing?
I look at him and I say, if I must fight you tonight, Shard, that will happen, but I need an answer from her.
All right.
And he stands there very solemn, not aggressive, not at all. And he will be ready to protect himself if need be.
Okay. All right, so Shard, that's what he says. So how are you?
If there is room for me to do so, I will step between the two of them, still facing him, and I will say, simply by asking the question proves you're not good enough for her. I don't want to fight you. And as I said, you could possibly even take me down. But I'm still going to suggest you leave.
All right. And Lana will come back to hear you're not good enough for her, and the rest is muffled with the same voices that you've been hearing. And then you'll come back. You'll hear the one sentence, you'll hear some muffle, and then you'll come back completely out of it, Lana. So you're seeing Shard move between Silas and yourself. Shard's looking like he doesn't want to fight Silas, but he's got his swords out. He's speaking pointedly as if he wants Silas to go away. So what is your reaction at that point?
She looks confused that Shard's back, and she'll just kind of go up to him quickly and kind of hand on his shoulder, just like, Shard, it's okay. We're just talking. And she looks red-eyed, just tear-streaked face, and I was like, we're just talking. It's okay. You can ask questions.
Okay. I'll put my sword. Shard will put his swords away.
Avoiding PvP. Yeah, because that would have went fucking crazy. with as much emotion as he has and so on and so forth, it would have went nuts. 100%.
You have no idea there was other stuff in the background there, but okay.
Shard will turn to Lana at that point, and he will kind of take her chin in one hand and look into her eyes, and will say, would you prefer I go away so you can have this conversation with him alone? Or do you want me here?
You can stay. And she'll look at Silas and just kind of that like defeated kind of look, like, and yet at the same time like as though she's like really sorry, but she'll nod.
All right.
Okay.
At that point, Carrie, one of your senses is picked up. You can hear a voice in your head. It's Silas's voice in your head, and all that you hear is these repeated words. He loves my girl. He loves my girl. He loves my girl. He loves my girl. And that's going on in your head as all of this is happening. So what is your reaction? Because I know that you've had you've been doing a little bit of behind the scenes work. So, and you've had the feedback from before, and that's still the case. But for the first time, you're actually hearing his voice in your head. So, how are you reacting to that? Carrie?
Are you muted?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time? Sorry, there's something going on beside me I was paying attention to. Can you repeat that last little bit?
Yeah. So in the middle of the night, as this is all happening, everything's going on, Carrie hears Silas's voice in her head. And the words that she hears are, he loves my girl, he loves my girl, he loves my girl, he loves my girl, he loves my girl. And this is just going on and on and on repeatedly. And yeah, you haven't had a response from him before, like what I said the other day about.
Okay.
Yeah, so
She
this is the
would,
first time that you've actually.
For a second, she's like, "What the fuck?" Like, just the honest, like, I don't know what's happening. What is this? Oh, and then she realizes what's going on, and she sleeps in the nude because she loves the naked. But she quickly wraps her silk robe around her, and she scurries downstairs, wings bumping in the shit, almost maybe knocking down a few picture frames as she's running down. And then she runs outside, and throws open the door, and is just staring directly at him.
Yeah, he's off in the distance a bit, but yeah, you will see and hear a door open, and a figure there, and you might be able to tell it's Carrie, or you might not, but there's a figure in the doorway, and more lights and stuff sort of go on, although the situation has diffused a little bit, so some of the lights are turning off and what's not around the street. So let me see. That's that. We'll go back to, let's see. Let's go back to Silas.
So she nodded to me, is that correct?
Yeah, she.
Okay.
And she's diffused Shard as well.
Yeah.
And
So
Shard will move from between the two of them, but he will still stay within 5 feet of them.
Yeah. I look at him and I say, "You're a really good friend to us. Thank you for making sure that everything's okay." And I look back at her and I just shake my head and I turn around and walk away.
Carrie will call out Silas, and she'll run out and she'll follow him.
Yeah, he's definitely moving at quite a pace. You know what I mean? And would probably find a tavern if there is something of that sort of thing, and we'll be drinking his sours away per se for the evening.
All right, Lana.
I love that. As he walks away, just shakes and walks away. She just that big remorseful kind of cry just starts racking through her body, and she will walk a few paces over to Shard just to basically cry on his arm or shoulder or something. Just yeah, she's just losing it right there.
All right. Shard then, as she collapses on you.
Shard will, as she collapses, he'll take her in his arms, and then he'll pick her up and take her inside.
And she's taking her, and she's like, "I didn't mean to hurt him. It just happened," and just kind of trying to explain herself as the words that failed to come out with Silas. She's just babbling through them. She's like, it just happened. I didn't mean for it to hurt him or anything, and yeah, over and over. But
Carrie, you're able to figure out where Silas went to the tavern. Do you want to go in with him?
Actually,
yes.
can I retcon just slightly? As he turns around and shakes his head, he holds up his arm, and there's a red string around his wrist, and he just points to it as he walks away.
A red string?
She knows what that means. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It makes it very obvious so that she can see that as he's walking away.
All right. So yeah, Carrie, do you want to go in? after him?
Yeah, Carrie will. She'll chase after him. Let me see. I looked at a certain spell, and I'm not sure if I decided on it or not. It's been a while since I've looked at my spell list. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna cast disguise self on herself, and she's gonna look like a human version of herself, without wings and fully clothed.
All right. Sure. And then you'll enter there. Brug's sleeping. Shard's carried Lana in. Shard, are you gonna question her about this confession that you're starting to hear from her?
Nope. All I'll say to her is the past is the past. Whatever you did then, whatever happened was then, not now.
She'll elaborate how that's like. That's the problem, Shard. It's not the past. Ren,
If it's not happening right now, it's the past.
But it is.
And whatever's going on with Ren is his issue. Do you love Ren?
And she just like,
yeah.
That's a hard-hitting question.
just like,
He didn't even mean it as a serious question. It's like an offhand thing.
Asking the hard-hitting questions on 60 Minutes.
Actually, Ren's gonna have no more issues at all ever again.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. She just, I was like, I do. I miss him.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Usually he's the one who's able to. I'm sorry to be crying so much around you. I'm really. And so, yeah. Just...
Oil.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, it's not no oil yet.
I didn't mean to break the session today, guys, but it was something that Silas had to do.
No, it's all
Yeah,
good.
you don't want to oil me up.
This is pretty awesome.
You don't want to oil me up because then you'll have three men who love you.
The
But-
sexual innuendos continue.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so you're basically in love with two men.
Brug is happy his
She nods,
relationship
good.
status.
Well, it's more like a man and a half. Ren is a
Yeah, more like a man. Exactly. He's just a little short guy.
Yeah, Shard is like tempted to just go kick Brug's bed and say, "Get your ass up! You're getting in this too." But
Brug is sleeping against Hey You. Like
Aww.
Hey You is the
Hey, you so happy.
well, hold on. To explain this, Hey You is the only real character that he has, bonded with at all in all of the sessions so far. All the other ones are gone. So Brug is just sticking with Hey You. So he's just sleeping outside against Hey You. Mostly because everything is loud and full of pain, and Brug just wants to, for God's sakes, just sleep.
All right, so we'll cross over and we'll have a attractive female woman walking in the bar a couple of minutes after you, Silas. You've sat down, you've probably ordered a drink. Are you paying attention to her?
Absolutely not.
All right. Carrie, what are you doing?
Carrie will walk up beside him, and if he's already ordered himself something, she will order herself something of she'll order whatever she can, whatever first bottle she's like, oh, I know that one, and she'll order it. She'll just sit down next to him, and she'll kind of just hold her glass next to him, and she'll look over to him, and she'll kind of bump her shoulder lightly against his.
He doesn't even make that guy happen.
Okay.
He looks as if he's been crying. And he's just spinning this red string around his wrist, like obsessively. To give the red string thing, if anybody knows what the red string is, string of fate within the Asian culture is, her and our character have that type of thing, and we're both wearing one. So
all right, so
supposed to be together forever.
Yeah, we'll cross back over to the others. So, Shard and
I'm sorry, Kari. Yeah, I mean, he's just unconsolable at this point, so he didn't even notice you there.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, we'll just cross between the two scenes as we.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean I'll role play it depending on how much I'm getting, but yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So,
cool.
all right, so you're going back to the other side, so.
Yeah, and if Carrie wants to roll something, that's cool. All right, Steven. Cool. So yeah, Shard and Lana. What now that we
Shard will say, well, you might love Ren and you might miss him and even want to be with him. But I think it says a lot that you're here with Silas.
Because I work for the guild. And if Ren were I have something to ask you real quick, Matt, on Facebook, just to make sure.
What?
Hang on, I'm writing out real quick.
She's giving you a quick message just to make.
Well, while you're writing, then. Did you join? Yes. Yes, and yes.
Okay, so yeah, she's like then on that line, it's like, well, I work for the guild, and so we're off to go help do whatever it is that Ren's mother needs him for, and I said goodbye.
You just
Ren,
called.
letting him know
You just called Silas's mother.
where we're going, and like he should be, we might be able to see him there. He says he has family there, and so he might be showing up in a few days. So like I love him, and I love Silas, and it's this isn't just me being, I don't know, maybe I am being stupid, but I just
You're not being stupid. You're in love with two men and you're pregnant. A bit hysterical at times, but
she just kind of like this like soft laugh kind of comes out for a moment before she just starts bawling again. It's like, I am pregnant. I don't know who the dad is. I'm a horrible person. So,
do you really not know who the dad is?
I really don't. I'm
Well, surely there's some kind of magic or something that could tell.
Oh yes, the good old cleric pregnancy detector.
Tell me that I am, but I don't know if there really is anything that could tell who's. Like, I figured we'll find out when the child's born.
How do we find out then?
Yeah, because the three of us look drastically different.
If it's Silas's, they'll have light hair because I have light hair too. If it's Ren's, they'll most likely have dark hair.
Gonna be small.
If it's Brooks, well, they'll probably have dark hair.
God, as long as it doesn't come out with gears and moving parts, we should be okay.
That sounds terrifyingly painful.
Yeah,
That just sounds. That's just bad.
She's just like not even sure like how to answer that. It's just like that. Do Warforges have babies?
Oh, we don't have
she will
babies.
honestly ask that. Just like
It's one of those special attachments.
Thank the gods.
All right, so back over with Carrie. Are you rolling for something, or
No,
are you
I
going to
said
bug
roll.
him?
Yeah, no, she's continuing to just be there for him. Soon after that, she bumped his shoulder, and he was just, spinning his the wristband or the string or whatever it was. Sheila, what is
Does he? Am I getting the impression that he could like snap and murder somebody right now?
Silas?
He's absolutely on edge. His body language is making it so that he is either not able to tell that your presence is there or doesn't care. You know what I mean? But he is certainly. If if you can see his face and so on and so forth, I would assume he looks very fragile right now and looks on edge, 100%. Would I murder somebody? Well, apparently he doesn't have a problem doing that. So maybe I don't know.
She will gently wrap her hand around the forearm that I'm assuming she's sitting on the side of the
same arm as the red string. Yeah, that's fine. The red string would. And you're on that side. It doesn't matter. Right? I've never really thought about it so heavily.
Yeah, she puts her hand on that wrist. She kind of says, she still sounds the same, so she still sounds like Carrie.
Yeah.
Silas.
And he gives a very large exhale.
And she kind of squeezes it.
That's not really what disguise, oneself is for. What do you want, Carrie?
She just kind of looks down. Is it
for my good that you don't look like the beautiful tiefling that you are, or is it for the good of the people in this establishment?
It's to draw less attention to us, and I didn't take the liberty of getting dressed before I came. The clothes are an illusion. Oh. She just kind of looks down. Simply a bathrobe, and she just kind of looks down and blushes a little bit at that.
I cast detect magic.
You see this? If you know she'd have her wings, and she's wearing her.
My body is telling me.
It's a very revealing, silky sequin type. Or not sequin, but it's a. Jesus, could you imagine a sequin?
Oh, that'd be ridiculous.
Her nightgown doesn't do very much to hide her form.
Yeah,
which is actually quite attractive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I look at her and I go, no, and I look at her and I go, I learned some very disturbing information this night, and I really would just love to be by myself. It's nothing against you, Kari, but that is not at all what he's thinking. And she, and he just looks at her and starts crying again. Yeah, exactly. And he just looks at her and starts crying. And goes, I can't even get into it. I can't. I'm sorry.
So, Carrie, can you roll an insight for me?
Yeah, of course. Not one of her strong suits, but she'll give it a go.
Funny part is that Silas is really, really good strong suit.
Silas, can I borrow your skill check for a second?
No, you cannot.
All right. So you heard the thoughts. There's two conflicting ideas in your head. If you had a roll better, I would have given you one. But there's two conflicting ideas. The two conflicting ideas are, one, he is completely obsessed with whoever this guy is that he's thinking about that loves Lana. Completely obsessed to the point that he's delusional. The other side of it is that he could be onto something, and you know that Lana's a little bit weird about this, and so you've got both of those thoughts in you as to why all of this is going on. You're not sure whether he is just like really delusional or whether he's onto something, but you think it could be either of those things with that roll, with that insight roll.
This is going to be a rather bold thing of Carrie to do, but this is definitely within her character type.
She's a shitbag. First and foremost, she's a bitch. But she'll stand and nod at Silas, and she'll look around the room and is like, there's plenty of people in this room that you could make a regrettable decision, but I will be alone within my chamber. So I hope that if you need to lose yourself, you can do it with somebody you can trust. And she would squeeze his shoulder,
Yeah,
and she will
yeah,
turn and walk out.
Yeah, and he, before you get to walk away, he goes, "I don't want anybody. I love her, Carrie.
She'd
I love
still-
her. She is my forever. This thing means that she and I are meant to be together, even in the afterlife. This is, I love her beyond even this life and every other life we may ever have. This is not. This is not." And he just doesn't know how to even finish the rest of the statement. And then he gets to the thought of what he feels as if he's accomplished. And a little bit of a wry smile comes on his face, and he goes, "But everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I promise."
All right. I'll flip over. Brug, as you're sleeping, you have a dream.
Oh no. In my defense, these are always like crazy news or something bad has happened. So
Brug, you see yourself holding a kebab. It is a delicious.
Oh shit! You read my comment.
It is a delicious kebab, and you see yourself holding it, and then you see your other hand, and you look over to it, and there's exactly the same kebab in the other hand. And you look from one to the other, and then a pure white bird flies out of each kebab and around your head, and then back into your hands. And the kebabs are very, very similar now, but not exactly the same. One kebab looks like it's lamb, and the other kebab looks like it's maybe beef or chicken or something else. But in all other ways, they're exactly the same. And then they turn into pure white birds again and fly around your head again, and then they fly off away.
Brug really needs to lay off the mushrooms. All right, well, I'm getting a feeling I'm getting a spiritual thing about what's happening here.
I got a feeling.
Brug is going to have to sit both these men down and have the kebab conversation.
Carrie goes.
When a man loves two kebabs very much.
Carrie goes back to her room and half expects Silas to come back to her, but Silas does not, I'm assuming.
No, but no.
Where does Silas go? To the common room to sleep?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. He goes to that common room, but he does not lay next to Lana.
Yeah.
All
right.
Actually, search for Shard, if that's a thing, if that's okay.
What do you want to do?
Carrie would actually search for Shard.
Everyone's in like a common room. So
okay, she wants
like,
to.
It's not an inn. It's just like everyone's there. It's just like you're gonna avoid each other where you're gonna avoid each other. So yeah, you can find Shard easily.
Okay, she'll walk over to Shard. And, is Shard laying down?
I'm probably sitting right next to Lana.
Yeah, you can probably tell that. Yeah, you can
Oh,
probably
they-
tell that
wait.
there's probably been words, and Lana looks probably a bit more conciled now than she did before, right? Like
She's probably curled up and like half asleep, honestly.
Yeah.
Shard, she would inquire, walking in.
Yes.
May I speak with you for a moment?
You may. But he doesn't stand up or move.
she would notice this, and she'd walk over and kneel down next to him, facing away from Lana, not to try to wake her up. I'm going to admit something to you. And she just kind of pauses and waits for his reply.
Okay.
I have been unresistant to my curiosities for these people. How well do you know them? And she isn't making eye contact with him. She's like looking at the floor, being very careful with how she's wording things.
Honestly, not extremely well. I mean, we have history together, but you know, it's not going back years or decades or anything. But they both mean a lot to me. What is it you're wanting to know?
I have discovered there is a shroud around Silas. And I believe something happened with you out there. I saw you standing in front of Lana. I'm not sure what you had said, but that shroud has buckled.
Yeah, I would never let her touch it before.
Silas's shroud is because of me, or if it's because of Lana.
I think you inspired it to get to the point where it could be broken. She kind of looks over at him. Thank you for being the voice of reason when few others would be. This world needs more people like you, whether or not you're made of metal. And she just kind of laughs at that. And she'll stand up and kind of pat him on his shoulder and just walk over to her bed and lay down.
All right. Well, I want to finish up pretty like in the next few minutes. Is there anything like final that you guys want to say or do before we just close out the session, and I'll resolve a couple of things.
No, I'm good. I did enough tonight.
If it matters in any way, Shard will just lay down next to Lana and take his 4 hours of rest.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
Cool.
Wait. Sorry. See, that changes a bit. Do you like cuddle with Lana?
Well,
No,
I'm not
I
trying
don't
to
cuddle.
cuddle him. She's just
Okay, I'm just
coming
saying.
up.
You know what I mean? No, it's fine. It's just because it was a very good question to see if he was.
Dude, I'm never even speaking to any girl you even are kind of interested in, because, man, like, holy crap.
Yeah, probably not Silas. Corey's by no means like this, but it's kind of fun to play this. But yeah, so
just waiting.
it's he turns over and he goes fast asleep, and it's all good.
All right, all good. Okay, so
restlessness.
This will kind of answer Austin's question to me privately as well.
Yes, will do, or no.
Yeah, you don't need to. If you want to, you can.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And basically, all this has sort of all come out all at once, and that was pretty cool. The rest of the trip to Trolanport goes relatively, okay. Obviously, for the next couple of days, the group is a little bit uncertain of each other, maybe keeping their distance and what's not. But after a couple of days on the road, and certainly with the help of Demaya, you guys, come back to speaking terms again, and the end of the session is you heading north up the road towards Xanthus, and you can see the bridge ahead, which crosses the little inlet to Trolanport. Trolanport is half harbour town. Well, it's only actually it's only a very small section of harbour town. They get deliveries and send merchants via the sea and via land, but it's only like a small harbour. But you can see the harbour there. The lights are all bright. It's night, like it's about 10 o'clock when you sort of see the site. You see the site, you sort of relax as you know that Trolanport is obviously where Silas's mother is waiting to meet with him. Trolanport is obviously also like a really large city, quite safe. You can find an inn to rest in. And we basically finish the session seeing the bridge, seeing the city of safety, and some of the trip here, though not forgotten, is perhaps not as keenly on our minds. And with that, I want to thank you all for playing and for dealing with some of these things pretty well. We had a little bit of heatedness in there, but I think we struggled through okay. And we'll finish off the session there. I'll stay around for a couple of minutes and see what your feedback is, but I'll have to go pretty soon. But I'm going to stop the broadcast for now. We're going to be back in a couple of weeks. Let's see. I think it would be not so good to be 2 weeks from now, because I think that would make it the 1st, which is straight after like New Year.
The 1st for you, New Year's Eve for us.
Yeah,
Man, this would be
New
a
Year's
great
Eve for
New Year's
us.
party for me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay up late.
If we want to do that, we can. Let's talk about that anyway. But we might be back in 2 weeks, guys. Whoever's watching, we might not be. Might be the week after or whatever. But we'll just see how everyone feels about holidays and what's not. But for now, thank you for watching. Anyone that was watching, thank you for playing, all you guys, and for bearing with us as we got through all of that. And I hope you've enjoyed the session. And I'll stop the live broadcast and we can chat. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.